is The Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Let's get nasty on a Friday. It's The Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Bradford Bruns pinch hitting today for Andrew Marsh as he's heading up to Minnesota.
Oh, boy. How nervous is Marshy right now? Because
I think he's excited now.
I think he's nervous.
I think he'll be nervous on Sunday morning. For those that don't know, Marsh, obviously our fearless producer. He's a diehard Minnesota Vikings fan, and I think this is it. No, I don't think. I was going to say, I think this is his first time going up to Minnesota, but I believe he said he went up for the Rams-Vikings game
I think
when he was
he's
still
been there before. This is the first time with Rachel, though.
So Rachel is his girlfriend, Eagles fan, but we're just going to start saying stuff. Why not? It's a Friday, right?
This one has stakes. I can personally attest to that. I saw him the other day. He was drafting as many ideas as possible after you guys had held him to task, rightfully
he had like one thing. Rachel had a list of 15 different punishments for him if the Vikings lose.
Right.
And Marshy had like one thing.
Nothing.
Right? That's not going to work, kid. No.
Yeah. Come on, man. So, speaking of Marsh and Jamie and me, Bradford, you were not part of this. I will not criticize you.
Thank you.
Why not? He's in here.
No, he wasn't a part of this.
He definitely would have. He would have picked the Steelers last night.
Oh, the groupthink thing? I don't know about that. Don't be so sure. Don't be so sure.
To a man.
Bradford, you're not a man who is a liar.
This is true. Upstanding citizen. Carey Davis talks about it all the time. Yeah, I would have gone the groupthink thing.
Thank you for your honesty.
Now you can lump him in.
To a man, if you can call us that.
Yeah, sometimes.
We said, we can kind of see the Bengals winning. We can kind of see the Bengals maybe going off. The Steelers team, I said the Steelers have been woefully unimpressive. That's what I said. Jamie went as far to say, you know what, this feels like a Joe Flacco 350, 3 tutties type game. I believe he finished with 347 and 3 touchdowns.
Pretty close.
Son of it. Yet none of us chose the Bengals in the NFL Pick'em Challenge pool.
Nope.
A pool that we are down, by the way. Not one of us with the Huevos Rancheros decided to go with the Bengals.
Nope.
And I'll be honest, when it was 10-0 Steelers, I said, that is why you don't go with the Bengals. Then when Aaron Rodgers hit Pat Freiermuth on the 63-yard play, whatever it was, I said, that is why you don't take the Bengals. And then they worked their way right down the field. Apparently, Mike Tomlin might have been on to something when he criticized the Cleveland Browns for trading Joe Flacco within the division. That is why he didn't want to face him, because Joe Flacco looked pretty good last night.
Yeah, so...
And so did Jamar Chase, who had, I think, 42 receptions. Is it 42?
Well, here's where I'm going, okay? Hear me out. Is they talked to, post-game last night, they talked to Joe Flacco and Jamar Chase, and, a bunch of people, they sit down and they talk to the group at the desk. Joe Flacco said some of the plays that were coming in, he goes, as they're being told to me, I can't remember what they are. He's like, can't. He goes, so I'm moving coverages around. I'm trying to figure out what to play.
Which is fair because he's been there an hour.
So he's like, anytime you saw, especially the one where he ran it for 12 yards.
Yeah.
He's like,
on
that's
the
it. He's like, yep. He's like, I did not know the play at all. He goes, I got Jamar lined up. Line of scrimmage, he didn't move like I thought he was going to move. He's like, I just was like, I'm going to go right behind that guy.
Yeah.
He just took the ball and ran for 12 yards.
He looked pretty spry.
So I think, to me, that was hilarious, is that you have this quarterback. Thank God he's been in the league for 77 years, because he's got a general concept of what it's supposed to look like. He knew when it was he knew, I don't know the play, but I can figure something out here. And he did laugh after, because every time we scrambled, it worked. So it was a night where it worked.
Yeah.
And so to your point, you sure could tell who his safety blanket was. It was Jamar Chase. Anytime there was anything that was doubtful, get the ball to one, get the ball to one, get the ball to one. I mean, in the one time, Jamar Chase, it hits him right in the hands and he drops it. Flacco's,
the touchdown one?
No, he's in the middle of the field.
Okay.
And Flacco's like, what? You're not allowed to drop it. You're my safety net.
Right. If you're dropping passes, we're in trouble here.
So overall, though, it's like I'm always amazed at quarterbacks, especially like the veteran guys like that go into a new system, thrown to the wolves. The offensive line we know is not great for the Bengals. Their defense is not great. They could have used Trey Hendrickson. At times, Aaron Rodgers had like 17, 18 seconds of pocket time.
That first touchdown, when they put they knew what they were doing too, the Prime Network, when they flashed how many seconds. I mean, they put it up quickly, the graphic, how many seconds Aaron Rodgers had. It was like 8 and change to find Jonnu Smith for that first touchdown. You're right, man. And Aaron Rodgers was outstanding. He matched Joe Flacco for most of the night. Cannot put that on the Steelers' offense. Granted, there was some turnovers there. That was an issue. But I honestly, Cincinnati made some plays last night. You cannot have that much money on the field playing defense for you and get that result. I'm sorry. I know Jamar Chase is, if not the best wide receiver in the league, he's 1B to Justin Jefferson's 1A. You cannot invest that much on your defense and make a trade for Jalen Ramsey, who cannot cover Jamar Chase. You make no adjustments, and you allow Joe Flacco and the Bengals to beat you last night.
I thought he had him. Wasn't that pronouncement made pretty early in the game? Jalen, I've got this. Jamar Chase had 23 targets last night. Nearly half the attempts that Flacco put up through the air. And, to wit, in addition, you also had T. Higgins doing his thing for almost the century mark, too. And, guys, it just reinforced for me, honestly, if you even have borderline competent play at the quarterback position for the Cincinnati Bengals, and you have playmakers of that ilk, you're still not only in this race, to be quite honest, I talked about it with you, Jamie, when we entered the office today. To me, this division, this AFC North, is completely there for the taking. It is completely up for
I don't
grabs.
even think it's close for the Ravens. Like, we talked about it yesterday.
They're going to make it a run.
Maybe winning the division might be a little tough for them. But, I mean, the only team that really I look at is the Cleveland Browns. Oh, by the way, we've got audio. Do we want to play that this segment?
Yeah, we can. Here's Tony Rizzo of ESPN Cleveland on the Browns' disarray.
This is surrounding, like, them trading Flacco and all this stuff. Yeah. And this guy's having a bad day.
Here's Tony Rizzo.
That's all I'm going to say.
ESPN Cleveland.
How could you do that, Andrew? How could you do it? Why on earth did you feel the need to trade this guy to a division opponent for a 5th-round draft pick? Fireable offense. That is a fireable offense. I want to know how much longer the owner's going to watch this crap, because the fans have had it. We deserve better. You're worried more about your stadium than you are your football team. That's the perception, Jimmy. And you allow these people to do this. You have the worst offense in the league. Your GM screwed this quarterback thing up like I've never seen in my life. I've never seen anything like it. Kids that play Madden could have done a better job. Truly. That's not hyperbole. It's a joke. It's a joke. This franchise has become a joke. And I'm sick of it.
I mean, become. They have
That's
been.
the only part he had wrong is become.
You're right. So, Tony, that was Tony Rizzo of ESPN Cleveland. A couple of names there. He said Jimmy. He's, of course, talking about Jimmy Haslam, the owner of Cleveland. Yep. He's talking about Andrew. Andrew Berry is the GM. And Andrew Berry's one of these guys that is all but he's kind of the analytics dude in the NFL. Like, he's one of these guys that looks at the stat sheet or looks at the Excel spreadsheet, and the players are not players. They're movable chess pieces. He's one of these dudes. And he decided not well, because your team, by the way, and look, I realize Cleveland does not have Jamar Chase. They don't have T. Higgins. They don't have Chase Brown. Okay, I realize that. However, if you look back to last week, Dylan Gabriel could not move the ball whatsoever against that same Pittsburgh defense that has struggled since week 1. Same defense could barely move the ball more than 4 yards.
You're right.
I mean, dink, dunk, could not read and Joe Flacco, again, I realize he's got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, but as Jamie just noted, Joe Flacco is admitting he don't even know the playbook or part of the playbook, and he is figuring it out against that Steelers defense.
9 days later. 9 days later.
Yes.
And to shift it to Pittsburgh here. Yeah, absolutely.
Because they played on Sunday.
Well, that's true.
And then 4 days later.
Versus Pittsburgh, that is. I think Pittsburgh, though, should be alarmed not only, guys, because of the way in which it was shredded through the air, but You mentioned Chase Brown briefly and lost in the sea, basically, of conversation here surrounding what Jamar Chase did, what T. Higgins was able to do with help from Joe Flacco. The fact that your run defense went out there against the league's worst rushing attack, bar none, and gave up 142 yards. By halftime, Brown had actually eclipsed the total from each of the first 6 games, his output on the ground this season. So Cam Hayward's out there wanting to basically shift and deflect the attention away from the secondary, talking about the run D. In so many different respects, though, guys, I'm not sure if this Pittsburgh team, we've talked about obviously how many changes took place over the offseason, but what is the identity right here? Is it that tough as nails defense? Are you capable of mustering that rush up the middle? Are you capable of really being able to extend the game also from an offensive standpoint? I don't know who Pittsburgh is at this point. I just don't.
Well, I don't even know. I don't know if they do either, because you made the trade for Jalen Ramsey and you gave up Minkah Fitzpatrick, who, if he's not, the best safety in the league, he's on the podium. And you wanted to bring in Jalen Ramsey because Mike Tomlin has been obsessed with Jalen Ramsey. So you bring him in. That's a prime matchup. You bring Jalen Ramsey in. Why? To shut down Jamar Chase. The exact opposite happened, to the point where I'm sitting there. I'm like, why is Jalen Ramsey still on Jamar Chase? Now I think they tried to bracket him a couple of times. They actually got beat. Joe Flacco beat him a couple of times, but.
Yeah, he threw a couple of friggin' darts.
Oh, him and Rodgers last night put on shows.
Rodgers is pretty impressive. I don't like to give him any credit, but that guy can still sling it.
Holy crap. The throw that he made to Pat Freiermuth on the run, absolute piss missile. Mm-hmm. Safety's just about to come back over after fast laning up. He almost gets it. Pat Freiermuth right in the hands.
Well, how about his Hail Mary pass, too?
Yeah,
70 yards in the air. It's the longest one recorded this season. 70 yards. That guy's 41 years old.
I'm not a Rodgers fan, but dude, he put on a show last night. Him and Flacco at 40-something years old put on absolute shows.
He had the time to operate, but I thought, honestly, correct me if I'm wrong, he was a little more spry than usual, actually extending plays and making them outside of the pocket. So,
he had I'm watching the offensive line, and he scrambles out a little bit, but he's really not at risk. And then the offensive line just doubles back, builds another wall around him.
Right.
Like the Bengals had very little rush on him.
The only person that hit Aaron Rodgers last night was his own offensive lineman. Did you see that mess?
Oh, did you see how pissed off he was?
I don't blame him. He was getting mugged.
Well, he gets jumped from behind. We could blow a knee and ankle.
Yeah, man. Dude, I've got a bad Achilles. Slow down.
I've got bad everything. I'm 40-plus years old.
My man. Trying to play the rest of the season here. Bradford, I agree with you. Defense for the Bengals still atrocious. But Chase, Flacco, the skill position players give competency to that offense. At the very least, you hang around in a wide-open AFC and a wide-open AFC North. Maybe Zach Taylor's job just got saved, too. Who knows? It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Blues making some moves and some changes ahead of their game against the Stars tomorrow. Let's get into those. Pick Jamie's brain next on 101 ESPN.
You can now watch 101 ESPN live on our Air Alliance Team Studio Cams. Catch every show live on our YouTube channel or at 101ESPN.com. 101 ESPN Studio Cams.
Presented by the Air Alliance Team Heating and Cooling. Getting the job done quickly, correctly, 100% of the time.
You've been thinking about it. It's time to finally do it. Fellas, it is time to go check out Diamonds Direct. No matter what the occasion is, no matter what you are celebrating, no matter what your budget, I'm telling you, there is something for everybody over at Diamonds Direct. And you'll notice the difference as soon as you walk in the door over there at Diamonds Direct. You'll notice the fact that, first of all, the vibe is awesome. There's music playing. It's like walking into a friend's house. You're going to dig the place. It's fantastic. They'll offer you a drink. Then you're going to notice case after case of stunning jewelry. Whatever you're looking for. If you're thinking about popping the question, tons and tons of diamonds, all of the beautiful engagement rings, all the brands she knows she loves. But it's more than that. It's earrings, bands, pendants, gemstones, colored gemstone jewelry. So many different things to make whatever the occasion is special for her, special for you, and they are going to take care of you at Diamonds Direct. Go check it out. Go online, go to diamondsdirect.com, and then get into the showroom. Over at Olive and 270 at City Place, it's Diamonds Direct.
many of you know that my inspiration for becoming
ESPN is your home for Blues hockey. And right now, we have your shot to score a signed Pavel Buchnevich puck.
Shoots! Score! Pavel Buchnevich!
Register to win now at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app.
Powered by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers.
You're in the fast lane on 101 ESPN.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Bradford Bruns in for Andrew Marsh. Carey Davis will be back with us on Monday. I'm Anthony Stalter. Jamie Rivers here, and we're ready for the Blues to get it on with the Stars tomorrow. So it's tomorrow night. Nope, we'll try to get it right at home against the Stars. A Dallas team that just suffered, by the way, their first loss of the season. They lost 5-3 to
those losers.
Vancouver. Jeez. Can't even beat the Canucks, huh?
Yeah.
3-0 lead. Took a 3-0 lead. How dare they squander that?
If you're going to lose, you might as well give up a but never mind. This morning, this morning's, I stopped myself.
Thank God.
This morning's practice gave us a hint at maybe some potential alterations. First line, Holloway, Thomas, Neighbors. Second line, Buchnevich, Suter, Snuggerud. Third line would be Joseph, Shen, Kyrou. Fourth line, Texier, Bugstad, and Walker. And then the Tucker Kessel with Mayu being an extra. So Tucker was paired with Kessel, and Mayu was the extra. Jamie, your thoughts on the line combinations? What do we need to know?
Well, it kind of tells you everything you need to know from where the coaches are coming from.
Definitely on Mayu.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
I'll shut my mouth then.
That'd be well. Thank you. First of all, we've all been waiting for that. But second of all, you earned that.
I did.
My focus is not on Mayu. It really isn't. We'll get into that a little bit later. This just tells me the coaching staff is like, look, guys, it's not good enough. It's so bad for us that we're throwing everything into the mixer here, and we're going. In fact, Jim Montgomery was asked about it, and he actually, do we have the beginning of it? Okay, good, because Monty's a funny dude, and I love when Monty's in this guy. He was feisty today. Mm-hmm. So asked about the lines today. Here's what Monty said.
I'm going to blender it up. We just want to see different people, and like there's some of these combinations that I thought, well, you know what, when it's always going to present itself. You're always going to go through a situation where we're not generating enough offensively. We're turning over too many pucks. It's just the way we are right now. So I want to find more speed offensively, be a little more vertical on entries. And we're trying to put people that complement each other well. We thought we had that before, but season's long. It might end up back that way in another 2 weeks because we know the way it has worked before.
Yeah, and there you go. I mean, I don't hate it. How many times we talked about the Cardinals last year, the year before, we still had BT on the show. We started pulling names out of a hat because it was like, it's time to just, who cares?
Right.
Like, not who cares, but like, let's change it up. Let's not be so set in our ways.
Sure.
And I think that happened here is because the one thing that Monty and staff and Chief and everybody's always done is they'll change the lines, but they keep pairs. It's always been the Thomas, Booch, Kyrou, Shan. Like, they keep the pairs throughout the whole thing, right? It seems like he's like, screw that at this point. And I did say at some point this year, Dylan Holloway will find himself on the wing with Robert Thomas at center.
Right. Well,
said it's inevitable.
Here we go.
And so you're going to get an experiment here. Buchnevich, Shooter, Snuggerud. That one's interesting to me because Buch hates playing the left side. So we'll see how he enjoys that. He likes being a right winger. It's just what he's always played. Doesn't like center either. But we'll see how that works out.
What does he like?
Yeah,
right wing, that's it?
Right wing.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
All right, here's, if you're wondering, here is Monty on Mayu, and he references Bobby Knight, and it's pretty funny.
To be able to support these guys, and that sometimes you've got to kick them in the rear end, you know? And you need to build them up so that they understand that you believe in them. But ice time, I mean, I love the line from Bobby Knight. There's nothing that teaches people better than ass meet bench, bench meet ass. That's the only tool a coach has always had to get a player's attention when they're not playing to the team standard. And that's not the case with Logan Mayu, but it's been the case often the times in the past. Not with him, but with other players.
Yeah, so Monty at the end, they're clarifying that, look, this is not a punishment on Logan Mayu. It's a reset for Logan Mayu.
Yeah.
And we talked to Chris Pronger about this yesterday. Look, I can speak to this because I was a young defenseman in the National Hockey League. It ain't easy. The game moves fast. And I thought I was ready. I told you the first time, like, I couldn't believe they sent me down. Like, what? Why are you sending me to the minors? Are you kidding me? I just had an assist.
I'm ready.
Yeah, but you're a minus 3, but I had an assist. It was a hell of a pass, you know?
You allowed 3.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I had my guy. But no, playing defense in National Hockey League, it takes time. And I feel bad for Logan Mayu in a way because Zach Bolduc has had several years of development within one organization to get to where he was last year. And now he's having quick success in Montreal. Is it sustainable? I don't know. I hope so. Good for Zach. But that sucks for Logan Mayu because all eyeballs are on him now. Going, what have you got for me?
Yeah.
And so I think this is a good little reset. And Monty did go on in his press conference and say, listen, he comes out now, and when he goes back in, I don't want him to come out again, ever. Meaning that he wants the player to take the moment, seize the opportunity, and continue to develop and grow.
Yeah.
Good sign at the end of the practice was Logan Mayu out on the ice working on things all by himself. Everybody left the ice. I've been there. Sometimes you need that serenity of like nobody around because you're mad, you're digesting it. But at the same time, what was good about it is he was channeling it in the right direction. There are times in my career when I was young where I channeled it in the wrong direction. It's everybody else's fault. You know, that guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. You know, that guy sucks. No wonder I'm benched because he missed the pass. You know, you start to do that because it's a very high-stress situation. Playing pro sports is not easy. And I can only imagine what it's like nowadays with all the social media. We didn't have that. So the next day, if you had a bad game, you open up the newspaper and see what they wrote about you, if they did. Some nights they didn't. You're like, whew. Then you had to go through your own coaches and things like that and people. But it's a very stressful thing to do, to have 20,000 people in the building, plus whoever's watching at home, everybody micromanaging everything you're doing, all while knowing they traded away a guy that everybody liked. And so for Logan Mayu, I think this is a nice little pause for him. Matthew Kessel's going to get in there. He's hungry to play. He's going to do a good job. And they're going to continue to work with him. But like Chris Pronger said, like Al McInnes said, you know, those guys, take their word. You don't have to take mine. Take their word. 200 to 300 games before you know what you've got in a defenseman.
Sure. And
he's played 11 now.
Jamie wanted to piggyback off of that, actually.
Not close to 200 or 300.
No, it's not.
When you're talking in the interim, at least, about Tucker and Kessel forming that tandem, even going into last season, it was as though you had Kessel elevated then over a Tyler Tucker on the depth chart, and we understand how it played out, how much of a revelation, frankly, he was down the stretch for this team, how much Jim Montgomery liked him. As far as responsibility is concerned, as far as the runway goes here, making the most of this opportunity, what is different this time around for Kessel as opposed to last year when he only appeared in 29 games with the big club?
Well, let's hope you learned something from it, right? So I can only speak about my process. If I was Matthew Kessel and last year I was the first guy, I was ahead of Tucker, I was ahead of Logan Mailloux. He didn't exist. He wasn't a thought. Why? Because I was there. Then Tucker leapfrogs me. Then Mailloux comes in and he leapfrogs me in the roster order. You better figure out what you need to do for this hockey club to stay in the lineup. Matthew Kessel's 6'2", 225, skates as good as anybody in the league. He needs to go out there and destroy guys. He needs to be the most miserable son of a you-know-what to ever walk the face of the earth. Because that's how Tyler Tucker got his opportunity. Because Tyler Tucker was not, at the time, as talented, doesn't skate as fast as Kessel, doesn't shoot the puck as hard as Kessel, all of those things. But he went out there, he blocked shots, he hit guys, and he fought every so often. And now Monty loves him. My, oh, this guy's awesome. And he's played very well. I'm not saying that's all he brings to the table. But if you're Matthew Kessel, figure it out. I'm looking over at a guy that's getting every opportunity. In fact, he's a staple in the lineup. Yet I feel like I'm better than him. So how do you leapfrog him now in the lineup? Get out there and smash somebody into the boards. Make one good tape-to-tape passes. You don't have to make home run plays. 6-foot, 7-foot, 8-foot passes. Snap them tape-to-tape. Get up the ice. And every time there's an opportunity to be a vicious son of a you-know-what, you do it.
That's Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Bradford Brun's in for Andrew Marsh, who's on his way up to Minnesota for the Vikings and Eagles game. It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. Blue Stars pregame tomorrow evening, 5 o'clock, right here on 101 ESPN. The puck will drop at 6 o'clock, and you can listen to all the coverage on the Blues radio network. What a moment last night in Game 4 of the ALCS between the Mariners and the Blue Jays. Local product, Max Scherzer.
Let's go, baby.
And manager John Schneider getting after it a little bit, but it wound up being a great moment, not only for Scherzer, Schneider, and the Blue Jays, but it was one in which I think a lot of baseball could learn something from. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Ready to hit the fairway with a crew from the morning after? 101 ESPN and Michelob Ultra present the Tee It Up with TMA giveaway. One lucky winner and a guest will score a free round of golf with Tim and Jackson of the morning after at Fox Run Golf Club. The guys will bring the banter, the birdies, and of course the Ultra. And you just need to bring your swing. It's your chance to hang out and enjoy a laid-back round with Tim and Jackson. Use the code SWING to get entered to win now. Either at 101ESPN.com or the 101 mobile app. Must be 21. The Tee It Up with TMA giveaway is courtesy of Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
This is a perfect weekend to head to Auto Centers Nissan. You only got a couple of weeks left to take advantage of their Scary Good Deals event. It's happening out in Herculaneum, Missouri, just minutes from South County. You'll find over 1,000 new and used vehicles all in one location, so you don't have to worry about running around town or maybe, dealer hopping. If you search online at AutoCentersNissan.com and you pick out a couple of vehicles that you want to test drive, those same vehicles, the exact same vehicles, will be on their lot in Herculaneum. They're just minutes from South County. You're going to love Auto Centers Nissan. Right now, you can drive home a brand new 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano with no money down, 0% APR for 60 months, and no payments for 3 months. They've got great deals going on at Auto Centers. Here's the kicker. They have, with all new Nissans, complimentary lifetime warranty and a 30-day return promise within 30 days. If you don't completely love the vehicle, bring it back, and they'll refund you. They'll get you something else. Already own a Nissan? Bring it in for service for your first oil change is on them at Auto Centers. It's completely free, even if you didn't buy from Auto Centers. So visit them online at AutoCentersNissan.com. Tell them Stalter sent you when you head out to the dealership. Visit them this weekend. Great deals, won't last forever. Check them out. It's Auto Centers Nissan.
There's nothing more important than the look and feel of your home. So now's the time to make your home your retreat. Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin Windows and Doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door. Online at fisherwindow.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely on advertisements.
Not sure how to get a lawyer after an accident? Call Brown & Crouppen. We'll walk you through it. Worried it'll cost too much? Here's a fact. At Brown & Crouppen, you pay nothing up front, and we never get paid unless you do. When you're our client, you'll have all your questions answered, all for free. Hurt? Get the facts and help you need. Call Brown & Crouppen now.
We want to hear from you. Use the Scott Lee Mic Drop feature on the 101 mobile app. Give us your opinion on anything St. Louis sports with a mic drop.
Brought to you by the Scott Lee Heating Company.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
Blues shake it up in advance of Stars. Good afternoon. I'm Bradford Bruns, and this SportsCenter update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. St. Louis trotted out several new line combinations at this morning's practice ahead of tomorrow night's clash versus Dallas. Puck drop will be at 6 o'clock right here on 101 ESPN with pregame at 5 p.m. on the back line as well. Logan Mayu was the extra skater, whereas Matthew Kessel worked with Tyler Tucker. Baseball, Blue Jays and Mariners getting underway at 5:08 today. That series knotted at 2 games apiece, whereas in the National League, the Dodgers looking to close it out versus Milwaukee. It'll be Quintana versus Ohtani, and we will talk more about that series as well as what Toronto's victory meant last night in a number of different ways coming up next. This SportsCenter update was driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet plus Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
2 former pros and 1 average Joe. You're listening to The Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Last night was wild as Mama River's Blue Jays evened up the series against the Mariners. Seattle goes to Toronto and takes 2 from them. Toronto comes right back, takes 2 from Seattle, and now the series is tied 2-2. In Game 4 of the ALCS last night, Max Scherzer, who's now 41, of course, local product here. Boy, it was a 40-year-old party last night. Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers, Max Scherzer.
Yeah, it was a great night for Icy Hot.
Prime nostalgia and the feels.
Tyler and Icy Hot. All right. So he turned back the clock. He pitched 5 2/3 innings in the Blue Jays' 8-2 win over the Mariners, signed the series, as I mentioned before. But if you didn't see what happened, you might have just thought, oh, yeah, he pitched pretty well. Mariners, or the Blue Jays got the offense rolling. Sure. But the game actually went viral for Scherzer's explosive confrontation with his manager, John Schneider, on the mound in the 5th inning. So here's what happened. Schneider walks toward the mound, to remove Scherzer from the game in the 5th inning. Scherzer barked at him, "I'm fast lane good." Only realize that we use the word fast lane for the F word.
Or instead of a beep.
Yeah.
Yes.
"I'm fast lane good." He said it 3 times. 3 times to Schneider. So, convinces John Schneider to leave him in the game. But John Schneider responded, "You better fast lane execute then." Scherzer, "I fast lane will." Then Scherzer went on to strike out Randy Rosarina to end the inning. It was absolutely,
and then
it was absolutely great.
Then he went down into the dugout. All of this kind of continued where he wasn't like, as he's walking by John Schneider, he yelled something one more time, like something like "I told you so," or "I see." Right. And he went down, and then all the players started laughing, like George Springer's like imitating him, like, you know, because at this point Scherzer had gone down the tunnel, and I guess John Schneider followed him eventually down there because he was going to take him out after the inning. He's like, "No, I'm going back out there. I'm going back out there." And he did go back out there for 2 more batters. And then Schneider went and got him. Whatever. But I think the pitch count was like at 71 or 72 when he went out for the visit. And then he ultimately ended up throwing 87 pitches.
Sure.
So all of this is very interesting. It's leading us to this audio here now because 2 games before, Gausman was on the bump. And John Schneider went with the analytics and took him out. He only had 74 pitches, but he was shoving pretty good. And then the game kind of got turned on its head. So here's Blue Jays manager John Schneider, compliments of MLB Network here, talking about what happened last night.
I think at that point, you know, there's numbers, there's projections, there's strategy, and there's people. So I was trusting people, you know, and I think in that moment you kind of relive every conversation I've had with him over the course of the year, and trusted him to make pitches. You know, I was joking with him. You know, I've been waiting for that moment since our Zoom call in the offseason before we signed him.
So again, to reiterate, John Schneider saying he's been waiting for that confrontation, that blow up for Max Scherzer since the Blue Jays signed him in the offseason.
Well, because Scherzer's known. There's a couple things. So for some of our listeners may not know, which I'm sure they do, but Scherzer is very well known for being a very intense player, in your face, and like it's well known. Don't talk to him on days he starts. Like, don't even talk to him. And so that's why when you sign a guy like Scherzer, you're just waiting for the moment where the volcano erupts.
Absolutely. The Blue Jays GM, Ross Atkins, calls John Schneider's memory baseball Rolodex. So John Schneider has this gift of remembering games and plays, and he's just very cerebral when it comes to remembering things that he has experienced. And he views learning from his mistakes as kind of like this everlasting competitive advantage. And he talked about it last night. He said the more you can learn, the faster you learn how you adjust from things when you mess up. I don't know if there's a perfect, a better example for anybody in a high leverage situation where you're tasked to make a lot of different decisions throughout the course of the day, and we all are. But certainly for a baseball manager, a head coach, and any other sport, you are tasked with endless decisions that you have to make. And if you're somebody that always standing on your pride and your ego, you're not going to last. So I respect the hell out of what John Schneider said last night. He didn't back down from Scherzer. He said, you better bleep and execute. It's not like he tucked his tail. They went after it, and then eventually he said, you know what? I'm going to learn from the mistake that I made with Gausman, like you said, Jamie, and let's roll with it. He looks good. I'm going to trust my pitcher, and
that's the thing. I think that's it, so, too, is there also has to be, as Ken Hitchcock said way back, and the player also has to build equity. And Max Scherzer, if he hasn't built up equity over the course of his career, to be able to sit there and tell the manager, I got this, in that moment you have to have a feel for the game, like John Schneider did, and then you also have to realize that the player that's telling you this has a lot of equity within the game.
Yeah, good call.
And you go, you know what? Okay. If that's a first-year, second-year guy who's just a hothead, egomaniac, sorry, kid, give me the ball. But that's Max Scherzer. If it was, name Adam Wainwright, if it like pick your pony that has the equity like that, and the manager, then it almost helps the manager because you're like, okay, good. I know he's got it. I would feel almost warm and fuzzy at that point.
Yeah, you almost feel better.
With that guy, with a resume like that guy's got, like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And if he screws it up, oh, well, he wanted the ball.
Yeah. Were you going to say no to Max Scherzer? Yeah, you were kind of covered. You saw, right? I was trying to go get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's the sort of exchange that we simply don't see anymore. And I can think immediately, guys, of 2 other individuals, to your point, Jamie, who have built up that much equity in the game to be able to have that standoff, if you will, with the skipper. They are Clayton Kershaw and Justin Verlander.
Yeah.
So once that generation
Yeah.
finally dies out, for lack of a better term, that's the thing. Now we are so regulated. It's so regimented when it comes to the analytics. That's what made last night so refreshing, frankly.
Well, and I wanted to hear, just before we go.
Redondo, real quick. John scores in the snake pit goes, unlike Sonny Gray, it's wet, I'm done. Hey, it was hot that night, John.
True. Sonny Gray pulls himself out of the game.
Yeah.
But not Max Scherzer. And Max Scherzer played the audio from John Schneider and was told about it, and this was his reaction post-game.
Thinking through the situation, and all of a sudden I see Schneid's coming out. It kind of caught me off guard, and that's just where one of those moments where I know I wanted the ball. I knew the situation of the game. I wanted the ball, and I basically told him that in a little bit different language.
Hey, it's all good when you win, man. Winning is the only cure-all to anything like this, but it did work out, and it worked out quite well.
How many people thought he would honestly, guys, last past 3 innings last night? This is somebody who was left off of the ALDS roster entirely against the Yankees. He had a 9 ERA in his final 6 to 9 starts down the stretch, and yet somehow, some way, pulled it out.
Well, that's... Yeah. I'm not being dramatic here, but that's what the great ones do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always go back to what Mike Tyson said: is every fighter has one left in them. You got one great fight left in you.
Except for Mike Tyson, it would appear.
Well,
yeah.
Even that.
Point taken.
Even that. You got a guy, you got a warrior, you've got just a dog. They've got one game left in them.
Yeah.
I don't know if Scherzer has one more game like that left in him, but we'll find out because he will get back on that bump at some point.
No doubt. After the game, a couple of their anecdotes here. Scherzer interrupted Schneider's post-game press conference only to realize the manager was mid-answer. He backed out as Schneider burst out laughing. Schneider got the last word. Get your fast lane psycho ass in here. In there, he said. Scherzer's performance and his fury became instant team folklore. Outfielder Anthony Santander summed it up. That's something we're going to share with our grandkids. And as you mentioned, too, George Springer mocking, in a playful way.
Oh, yeah.
Scherzer on the bench. Yeah,
the Jays got something special going on, man.
They do.
I'm telling you.
Yep. I've been... I picked Seattle to represent the ALCS, but man, the Dodgers, who are going to walk to the World Series.
Is that good though? Like the Dodgers have not been tested at all. And I don't know if baseball
they
matters.
Have no weaknesses.
But I don't know if baseball, if it matters, because in hockey,
it did for the Tigers not once but twice.
Yeah, I don't know.
It did when the Tigers had the long layoff against the Cardinals in 2006. It mattered. And then when the Tigers got back to the World Series in 2012 against the Giants, they had a long layoff. Verlander pitched game 1, and Pablo Sandoval took him deep twice on a 3-home-run night. And the Tigers just never recovered. So I think it can matter. I mean, the Tigers were trying to play their minor league team to try to just stay and it just didn't work. All right, our NFL Week 7 entrance survey. So we'll look at some of the quarterbacks, teams under the microscope. We'll give a bold prediction. All that coming next on 101 ESPN.
Tomorrow morning, South Carolina and Oklahoma. Pregame at 11. Kickoff at 11:35. The NCAA plays on 101 ESPN.
St. Luke's, ranked top 2% in the nation for cardiac surgery by Health Grades. Visit stlukes-stl.com.
Well, selling your host can be very stressful. I know this. I've had to do it a few times, and it sure is nice to have someone like Gloria Liu around. And she helps just basically educate you on what you should do to your home, because we all have little upgrades and things that we need to do to sell our home quicker. Then she's going to sit down and tell you the price of your home because she wants you to get the most money for your home, but she wants you to sell quickly. So please make that first phone call to Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Again, she's been in the business for over 20 years. She understands the landscape here in the St. Louis area. Therefore, she's going to know exactly how to price your home to sell it quickly. Another great thing is she's got over 24,000 buyers in waiting. How does that affect you? Well, the moment you list your home, there's going to be a portion of those buyers in waiting that qualify for your home. That means more eyeballs on your listing quickly, too. So you could have multiple offers. You could sell immediately. Either way, I would start packing and then call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Martin Kilcoyne here, and on my bucket list, going to Scotland. My wife's family's from Scotland. We keep saying we're going to go. Well, guess what? We are, and now we're inviting you to join us on June 15th as we discover spectacular Scotland with Colette. We'll visit the historic capital of Edinburgh, the famous castle there, and the Victorian city of Glasgow. Visit the National Bagpipe Centre for a lesson with a renowned piper. We'll have a special cooking experience and enjoy a taste or two at a historic whiskey distillery. Journey to the legendary Isle of Skye and the amazing Orkney Islands, plus cruise on lovely Loch Ness and the unspoiled landscapes of the Highlands. This and so much more. Colette's going to handle all the details: flights, meals, hotel, all those local experiences. Your only job? Have the time of your life. Don't miss out. Join me by calling our friends at Altair Travel, 314-968-9600, or go to 101ESPN.com to find out more. The number again for Altair Travel, 314-968-9600, as we head to Scotland.
Buckle up. This is the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Bradford Bruns in for our guy Andrew Marsh. And we got our NFL Week 7 entrance survey. All right, boys. Which team are you putting under the microscope this Sunday? So a team that you're focused on for a certain reason. Which one has got the microscope? You want me to start?
Like positively or negatively?
It could be anything.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So, for example, mine would be Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I got Jacksonville under the microscope here. So you beat the Chiefs, but then you lost to Seattle. no harm in that. I thought the Seahawks were the better team. I thought they would win. Picked them in the Pick'em Challenge, all that. I think I even picked them in the spread zone. Like I felt as though Seattle, just being the overall better team, was going to handle their business. They did. So no shame in that. But this Rams team is beat up. No Puka Nacua. And the game will be played in London, where Jacksonville obviously has made that trip many times before. Rams are beatable. And I felt that way even with Nacua. I didn't think they looked overly impressive last week. I think Baltimore imploded last week. They had a lot of mistakes, couldn't punch the ball in several times, especially at the goal line. And credit the Rams defense for playing well. But I don't think the Rams are this smooth operating team that's just going to go into London and have no issues with Jacksonville. Jacksonville defensively has played pretty well. But can Trevor Lawrence and that offense rebound? Because Trevor Lawrence I thought he played better than his stats last week. His receivers dropped a lot of passes, and his offensive line nearly got him killed. So Jacksonville, for me, is under the microscope.
So, oddly enough, I'm staying in the same division. My microscope is on the Colts. And this is so weird. And the gambling world is one I don't think I'll ever fully understand. They play the Chargers. The Chargers are favored in that game. Yet the Colts are the best team record-wise in the conference. Mm-hmm. And the Chargers, who, mind you, are riddled with injuries. They're missing almost everybody. And yet they're still favored. So my microscope is on the Colts, because if you lose to the Chargers, then you really are just a house of cards. Mm-hmm. Like, what you've been doing is not real, in my opinion.
Yeah. Still a good record.
Everybody can have a bad game, but the Colts, based on their record and the success that they've had so far, should run right over the LA Chargers. Should.
This one may seem a little predictable, but I'm going down this road. Marshy is going to be on hand. I want to see how those Philadelphia Eagles respond in the midst of a two-game funk, in the midst of having scored only 17 points in each of the past two games. What do you do against this Brian Flores-coached defense? And specifically, how do you get back to the meat and potatoes? How do you prioritize a Saquon Barkley? Now, last week, guys, he received literally an Ahmad Hardy-worthy 12 carries in that contest. Now,
don't get me started on
I'm
that.
Not pretending. I'll get there in a bit with you, Jamie. But I'm not pretending as though he has had the utmost success so far in 2025. But between all of the ridiculous behavior in the locker room or out on the field, the manifestations with A.J. Brown, whatever, this Eagles offense, this Eagles team as a whole, at some point, you have to move beyond the fact that you don't have Moore as your coordinator any longer. You have to figure out what has been the biggest impediment to not allow you to take those strides. And this division right now seems totally gettable. It's not as if anybody is running away with it, but against a quality opponent, albeit a defense that has struggled a bit in the last couple of games. Do you have any sense of flow? Do you have rhythm? And do you get back to basics with Barkley?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. More on that in a second here. Which quarterback are you putting under the microscope this Sunday? There's a couple of different quarterbacks that I considered, including Jalen Hurts, but the one that and Michael Penix, I think, should be under the microscope, too, going to San Francisco against a beat-up San Francisco team on Sunday night after what they did against Buffalo. But I eventually sided with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Same?
Boom. Right there.
So the Cowboys' defense is atrocious. It's the worst defense in the league. No Terry McLaurin. He's already been ruled out by Dan Quinn. That happened this morning. While Washington defensively, though, is going to get a stiff test from Dak Prescott and that offense. This is going to be a bit of a shootout. I don't think it's unreasonable, especially Washington losing to the Bears in the manner that they did. I don't think it's unreasonable for Daniels to need to take over the game. Again, it's well within. He's more than capable, and that defense again for Dallas is terrible. If you lose to Dallas, Washington drops to 3-4. And the Cowboys are 3-1. Yeah. So it's almost like you are inviting Dallas into the mix in the NFC East,
right?
As opposed to putting the boot to them. So Jaden Daniels is the quarterback I got under the microscope.
I guess for me, and this is not like a deep thought, all that stuff. There's two guys for me. One is Tua with Miami.
Sure.
After all of his comments recently and the way he's talked, I want to see what he does against a Cleveland defense with Myles Garrett breathing down the back of his neck the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one for me. And the other one that it's less like sexy, but I still want to see what Baker Mayfield is. Like, I know how great he's playing, but that Lions defense has been playing really well.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be prepared for him. I just want to see if he goes in and he absolutely balls out, then I'm going to be like, man, it's not that I'm not convinced that he's a good player. I love him. I love him as a player. I just want to see how he does against a formidable opponent that's at home in Detroit.
You already know that Daniels is my guy. Also, add to everything that you mentioned the fact that Debo hasn't exactly gotten a lot of work, if any, during the course of the week. So if you
Debo looks a little slow.
That heel issue keeping him out, heaven knows who's going to be running the rock as well. Also interesting to me, Caleb Williams. I want to see, okay, you've been able to do work in the past 3 weeks. You took care of business on Monday night, that stage against Washington. Now this is an obvious spot for you to be able to have a stranglehold type of performance. The Saints are rolling into town. Can you lead your team to 4 victories in a row, and can you do it with confidence? I want to see that.
What's the matchup that offers the biggest storyline? This is where, Bradford, I circle back to the Eagles and the Vikings. You got Carter. So J.J. McCarthy, according to Adam Schefter of ESPN, will not play. He's still dealing with the high ankle sprain. He's going to need at least another week. So you have the natural storyline of Carson Wentz facing his former team. The last time we saw the Eagles, they were getting blank stomped by the Giants in the second half of that Thursday Night Football game. It's almost like they kind of flew under the radar. Hell, I even forgot they played when we did the stack up. I completely forgot they played. I thought it was a bye. So it's felt like a long time since the Eagles, offensively, after getting challenged, has had an opportunity to play. Brian Flores knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He's going to come up with and he's the defensive coordinator for Minnesota. He's going to come up with an outstanding game plan. I guarantee it, especially for a limited offense. But Quinion Mitchell, Jalen Carter, Landon Dickerson should all be back for the Eagles. So they should be healthy. That's still one of, if not the best roster in football. So I think there's plenty of storylines there that I find to be pretty interesting. And I would not be shocked if the Eagles' struggles continue and Minnesota wins.
Quite prediction.
We'll get to the bold prediction here in a second.
Oh, no.
Any other games catch your eye? Biggest storylines? Tampa and Detroit obviously is great.
That's just
on
a
Monday
heavyweight
night.
match right there.
Yeah.
It's can't miss football for me.
Don't know if this one has quite as much pizzazz nationally, but it's hard to ignore when you have Indianapolis going up against the Chargers. The Chargers having been able to escape with that one last weekend versus Miami. Can you take this one at home, move to 5-2, and still keep Kansas City at length for the moment? Whereas Indianapolis here, I'm not saying uncharted territory, but can Jones and company be able to do enough against that defense? I still like, guys, honestly, Harbaugh's unit on that side of the football. I think it has started to round into shape a little more over the last couple of weeks. The best is yet ahead. But by the same token, do you get anything out of the ground game, or is Herbert going to have to play more of that hero ball this weekend?
And if he does, I don't think that's the best recipe.
No.
And I love Justin Herbert. All right. Real quick, what's your biggest, boldest prediction for Sunday? I'll start off. Jets get their first win. I think they beat the Panthers. You too?
My goodness.
I don't know.
But wait, is that really bold? Both teams,
Jets suck.
I mean, it was like the Panthers are fine.
They've gotten to 500.
Panthers are rolling right now, Jamie. Rolling.
I don't look at it the same, but for me, bold prediction is Jackson Dart and Scattaboo run all over the Broncos.
Dang, that's a bold prediction. I'll give you that. That's way bold than ours. Yeah. All right, Jamie with the one-up. But
I wasn't one-up.
Hat tip to you, sir.
If you pick the Jets over...
I said hat tip.
Okay, fine.
I said good day, sir.
Okay, fine.
How about the Browns rise off of the canvas, off of the mat, and blank the Dolphins? I don't think that would require quite a bit, but it's possible.
It's not that bold, Bradford.
It's possible.
Dolphins.
Dolphins taking all my material here.
Anthony, we'll have to work with them.
A little bit. All right. Everybody seemed to like the contract extension for Curt Cignetti, except for, Penn State. And somebody else who called it terrible. You'll hear from this national media member. It's a terrible move for IU. What? That's next on 101 ESPN.
TMA's Martin Kilcoyne is headed to Scotland in June, and you can join him for the trip of a lifetime. Discover spectacular Scotland with Colette and visit the historic capital of Edinburgh, Glasgow, the legendary Isle of Skye, cruise on the lovely Loch Ness, and so much more on an amazing 10-day tour. Colette handles all the details, flights, meals, hotels, and local experiences. Don't miss out. Get all the details on how you can discover spectacular Scotland with Colette and TMA's Martin Kilcoyne now at 101ESPN.com.
If you're thinking about doing a remodel right now, you got to go with Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company. They're the company that we trust in the Stalter household. I can't say great enough things about Mosby Building Arts and the work that they did within our home. We had them out. We actually, we're trying to be smart homeowners and get a bunch of different people to look at an issue that we're having with some doors that were leading out to a patio, and there was causing some issues in the basement. But once we went through all the different bids and got the perspective of different companies, we realized that Mosby was the only one that said, the doors, yes, are a problem. They're old. They need to be, they need to be structured better. But your real issue with the basement is these patio steps. And no other company said that. No other company realized that. Mosby was the only company that did. And when they came out and they did the work and they ripped out the stairs, boom, right there, there's a hole that the water was just slowly getting through and going into the basement and causing all kinds of damage. I lost sleep so many times, not knowing what it was. Mosby Building Arts gave me some rest. Gave me some rest because they did it right the first time. If you want a bathroom remodel, take advantage of the Mosby Building Arts Out of This World sale. They start at just $279 a month. If you're looking at a basement, only $599 a month. When it comes to redesigning your basement, they got front doors, gutters, they got all kinds of different things you can take advantage of. You got to do it though before October ends. So visit callmosby.com, tell them Stalter sent you, but roll with the right remodeling company. That's Mosby Building Arts.
Give us your opinion on the Air Comfort Service heating, cooling, and insulation text line at 314-399-9646 on 101 ESPN. WXOS HD1 East St. Louis, 101 ESPN is driven by Brown and Crouppen Law Firm. Strap yourself in. You're in the fast lane on 101 ESPN.
Fastlane on 101 ESPN. So everybody liked the Curt Cignetti Contract extension for Indiana, of course, again, unless you're Penn State, who just fired James Franklin, is certainly going to look at Curt Cignetti. Yeah, no, not everybody, actually. Because Paul Feinbaum said, wait a minute, I don't like this deal at all. Here's Paul Feinbaum reacting to the Curt Cignetti signing a new 8-year, $93.25 million contract extension. He's going to average $11.6 million per year. Here's Feinbaum, courtesy of the SEC Network.
I frankly think this is a terrible move by Indiana. I know that the college football cognoscenti will disagree with me, but there is no way in the world that Curt Cignetti should be the third highest paid coach in the country. He is not in Kirby Smart's league. He is not in Ryan Day's league. He has a big win on the road against Oregon. What else is, I mean, listen, I realize he may end up winning the national championship, and those who cover college football are very high on him, but this is not how you make sound decisions. This is how you take your university to the ledge and at some point end up paying for it.
Go home, Paul. You're hammered.
Can I say something real quick? I respect Paul very much. He's been around a long time, and he's not afraid to speak his mind.
No.
Never has been. And kudos to him.
Mm-hmm. He knows his stuff.
He's drunk on this one, and here's why. And we've talked about this ad nauseum. Whenever you're next man up for your renewal of your, it doesn't matter that there's somebody better than you that makes less than you, or in this case, Kirby Smart and Ryan Day. They signed their deals. That was yesterday. This is today. And today, Curt Cignetti is worth that much money. And then tomorrow, it could be another coach that eclipses all of them, because like Lane Kiffin, maybe next time his deal comes up, maybe he's the new standard. Is he a better coach than these guys? No, he's not as good. It doesn't matter. It was his turn, and inflation and the cost of doing business has gone up. And if you're Indiana, your program has been irrelevant.
Can you say that again?
Which part?
The Indiana part.
If you're Indiana?
You're Indiana. Yeah. You're Indiana. Football.
This is what I was
Continue.
headed. When's the last time your program was relevant?
Let me think. Last year.
No. Before this guy. Before Cignetti.
Never.
Thank you.
Never, Bob.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Your program has never been one that anybody talks about at all from a national standpoint. No disrespect to the Hoosiers, okay?
They know.
But you're basketball. You're a basketball school. So anyways, if you're Indiana, you hang on to this guy. He believes in your program. He has totally evolved your program. He's getting kids to play there, and he's getting national attention. Hang on to that guy.
Yeah.
127 years, of Indiana football before the arrival of Curt Cignetti.
Is that an exact number?
That is an exact number.
How did I know that was an exact number coming from Bradford?
Now,
that last part answered the first part.
Here's another more simple number for you. On how many occasions?
I heard it.
Lower, sorry.
I heard it, James.
We've had this discussion before, right, Brad?
LeBron in the 4 o'clock hour. Trust me, NBA season starts next week. But no, in all seriousness, Indiana had never even sniffed a 10-win season. Now you're on the verge of going back-to-back in that department. And here's what you like as well. The fact that Cignetti, let's be honest, at 64 years old, he has proceeded to enjoy the grind of moving up, being able to evolve and work through all of those lower levels. This is his destination. So I don't think that you have the same sort of concern if you're the athletic department, if you're the fan base, of having him basically job hop, because you believe what is said at surface value. Now, he's never going to win the halftime interviews, okay? But when he's talking about elevating football and family above everything else, you believe that it is genuine, and he has gotten Indiana to, at long last, hit the portal, hit it hard. The execution is there. Why wouldn't you buy totally for the course of the next decade or so? In fact, I don't even know if I would like another guy in another place more than Curt Cignetti over the course of, let's just say, the next decade or so, building your program, getting it to rarefied heights. Would you pick one other guy over that period of time than Curt Cignetti?
No.
Well, look what he's done with Les. Like, that to me exemplifies a coach more than anything. Because, no disrespect to Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, Lane Kiffin, Ryan Day, no disrespect, but they're given thoroughbreds, every year the program recruits thoroughbreds where NFL player after NFL player after NFL player is on your roster.
Mm-hmm.
When do you get the mule, right? So that's the next tier of players, maybe even 2 tiers down for that matter, because a lot of the other, like Notre Dame's and this, Michigan's and this, Indiana is not getting those top 5-star recruits. They're just not, for the most part. NIL has helped things, I think, a little bit, but even then, Indiana's not, like, rich when it comes to NIL money.
And not even everyone was banging down the door of Mendoza either. Not everybody. He was well regarded.
He's a fit for his offense.
But, guys, that's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yep.
You can say what you want. This guy is doing more with less.
Mm-hmm.
So, in fact, he might be a better football coach.
Yeah.
Because I've said to you before, like when Mike Babcock was the head coach in Detroit and won the Stanley Cup, no disrespect to Ray Charles, but you could have put him behind the bench and he won the Stanley Cup.
Very true.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right. It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Yeah. It's Indiana. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. It's Indiana, just to, clarify. And 2, Jamie, to your point about next man up in terms of the contract and all that, you don't think Penn State was going to pay this guy that?
They probably would have paid him more.
You don't think another program was going to pay him that? You might as well pony up. He has brought your program to relevancy. 100%.
100 plus for Marcus Freeman. Book it.
There you go. All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Back to the Blues. Jeremy Rutherford join us. We'll talk to him about some of the line combinations and get into tomorrow night's Dallas game with JR next on 101 ESPN.
It's time for another moment in Blues history.
On this day back in 1992, the Blues would hand the Quebec Nordiques their first loss of the season with a comeback victory. Bob Basson would score first, then 3 goals by Quebec before the Blues would mount their comeback. Igor Korolov, Rich Sutter, Brendan Shanahan all scoring in the second period. Quebec would take the lead once again, but then Kelly Chase would score his first of the year and pick up the assist on the game winner off of Brendan Shanahan's second of the game.
This date in Blues history is powered by Classic Air Care.
Make your life more comfortable for all your HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs. ClassicAirCare.com.
you have what it takes to beat the Blues? Tune into BK and Ferrario every week for your shot to take on a member of your St. Louis Blues. And you can win a signed puck and tickets to an upcoming game.
Can You Beat the Blues is presented by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Don't slow down. You're in the fast lane on 101 ESPN.
Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Let's head to the Callier and Thompson phone line. We're joined by our guy, Jeremy Rutherford. JR, doing a little traveling this weekend, I hear.
Yeah, a little traveling. Head back to Chicago for some more youth hockey. Hey, I want to tell you guys that 21 years of covering the Blues, I've heard a lot of coaches talk about putting the lines in a blender. I've never heard one make the blender sound. That's
wow, first time.
With Jim Montgomery.
That's awesome, wasn't it?
I'm not shocked, though. I mean, this is the guy, Jim Montgomery, who last year in the Stanley Cup playoffs is singing along to "Josie's on a vacation far away." Like,
in the most crucial moment of the game.
Yeah, he's just, you know what? He understands the game. He's not afraid to have personality, and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it's entertaining. He makes it interesting. It's fun to go in there and chat with him. And then when he breaks out the Bobby Knight line and he said, ass meat, bench meat, ass. And then he goes, but that's not what we're talking about with Logan here. That's a different situation.
Right. Yeah, he clarified pretty quickly.
He was trying to send a message to a few other guys, I think, at that point. Oh, and also, sometimes coaches send messages through the media to their players, but also the fan base. So that next game, Saturday night, if things aren't going well for a certain individual, and then as Blues fans, we see player X, Y, or Z that is ass meet seat meet ass. You'll be like, oh, well, Monty said it. Monty said it. It was coming.
So go ahead, Jerry.
I'm going to start charging these coaches a fee if they're going to run this stuff through us. Then, like we're the facilitator here.
Yeah, right. Well, guess what, JR? I think you're the facilitator no matter what.
You've been the facilitator for many years.
Yep, exactly. So let's get into the line changes for tomorrow night. Well, you already know them. I don't have to run through them. What was the one that stood out to you the most?
Well, I think usually I'd pick a line for you, Anthony, and just kind of dissect it. But I think it's all of them, honestly, because like Jim Montgomery said, they're just not getting the offense. There's too many turnovers. They're not getting vertical enough. You've seen a couple nice plays. I don't call a stretch play vertical necessarily just because it's kind of a big picture type play. But in terms of their forwards, gaining the zone and getting in there with some speed and stretching things out a little bit, we just haven't seen a ton of that. And so I think you look at all three of these lines, and he's done some mixing and matching. I tell you, if you had to pick a line, I think that top line with two really worker bees in Dylan Holloway and Jake Neighbors, and then you put a guy with the elite skill of Robert Thomas there in the middle. That's going to be fun to watch.
JR, what are your thoughts so far this season on Pavel Buchnevich? He's bounced around here in the lineup. We know he doesn't really like to play left wing. He certainly doesn't like to play center, but he finds himself right now on left wing in the second line. But overall, when you're watching Buch, what's your opinion?
Yeah, it's just that like a week or two ago, we did a player that we think could have a good year, maybe a player that you don't expect. And after a couple down years offensively for Buchnevich, he was my pick on the podcast. And yeah, I know it's 4 games, but you just really haven't seen it. My opinion, I think he just has to, be more noticeable. But how do you get more noticeable? You go to those areas and make your presence felt. And so, sometimes Buchnevich is going to score goals in front of the net like that. Sometimes he's going to be involved in a rush with Robert Thomas. And I know he's been in on a few plays, but just not to the level that they need him to be. So, I guess if I had to pick a word right now, it's not very noticeable, but that he can be. In the past, I've said that, Pavel Buchnevich needs to do more, and he does it the next game. So he's capable of it. We just haven't seen a ton of it.
Jeremy Rutherford of The Athletic. He's our Blues insider joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. JR, the goaltending situation, are you more on the side of, look, it's only 4 games, or, yeah, it's only 4 games, but they absolutely need to correct some things?
Yeah, they do, and it's tough to say because, I'm one of those that believes this is one of the better tandems in the league. Like, I'm not going to profess to sit there and break them down and, 1 through 10, here's how they rank. But I think the Blues are right up there with this tandem, and I think that we've seen it even this year. The goalies have been outstanding. You look at Joel Hofer in that Calgary game, he won the game for him. So, I don't think it's a time to be critical of the goaltending yet, but you look at the numbers they've given up at home especially. I mean, Jordan Binnington the night of the Wild game, the season opener, and then Joel Hofer just wasn't Joel Hofer a couple nights ago. And you kind of scratch your head a little bit, but I think it is way too early, like you said, to kind of pin anything on that right now.
JR, Matthew Kessel's going to draw into the lineup, and I really have no intention right now on focusing on Logan Mailloux more than we already have because, in my opinion, it's a young defenseman who's cutting his teeth and looking to find out, what he can become. But Matthew Kessel, on the other hand, it's weird because he came in, made his presence felt immediately, played alongside a couple really good players, got lots of ice time. Then it kind of dwindled, and then he got sent down last year. He got leapfrogged by Tucker and obviously Logan Mailloux at the same time. I've expressed earlier on the show what I would like to see from Matthew Kessel, but from your standpoint, Jerry, you've watched a lot of hockey. What do you think he needs to do out there?
Yeah, and I heard what you said, and you're right. And I've talked to Matthew Kessel a few times this season already, and yeah, he knows what he needs to be better at. And when he came up, the one thing, like he jumped into that game against Pittsburgh, and this was a couple years ago, and jumped in the top 4. And not only did he play well and make poised plays, but he was physical too, and I think he got away from that physical assertiveness, especially in the D zone last year. And he knew that when he came back, if he was going to make this team and even be the 7th guy, he was going to have to show some of that. And I thought, he was okay in camp, but obviously Mailloux's here, and they said they're going to give him the runway. And you put it perfectly earlier, is Kessel could have been that guy had he maintained the consistency, but Tucker jumps him, and now Mailloux comes in and basically takes his position. So I talked to Kessel a couple weeks ago, and he said, look, my goal is to get in there opening night and play 82 games. That's the confidence you have to have in this league, but obviously we know that they were going to give Mailloux the chance. So, after 4 games, they're going to put Mailloux in the box, in the press box, and Kessel's going to go in and get his chance. And exactly what you said earlier, Riv, you have to show the coach that you're there to make one play at a time, one simple play at a time, and then also, make your presence felt.
JR, on a positive note, what has been through 4 games one of the positives that you've seen? Because obviously there's been a lot of teeth gnashing about the goaltending, the defense, Jordan Carey yet to score. But from a positive standpoint, what's the best thing right now through 4 games?
Yeah, probably nothing like headline material, but, just a few things. I think that, took Dylan Holloway a couple games to score, but when he did the other night, he had the big hit too, so you're starting to see signs of him. Even though Kyrou hadn't scored, I thought that play he made to Shen in Western Canada to set up the goal, so I think those guys are playing with some speed. Even though Jimmy Snuggerud got knocked off the top line, I think he's done some good things. We saw the game that he had in Calgary, or Vancouver, I should say. So, I think that there are small things that are showing good signs with this team. They just have to put it all together and play more consistently. I don't think they're in as bad of a shape as when you look at an 8-3 final against the Chicago Blackhawks. But they do have to figure it out, and you have to do it quickly because they've had some tough starts, as I wrote the other day, the first couple months of the season, and you're playing catch up. So, I think that's why Jim Montgomery is mixing things up sooner than later. You could play these forward combinations for another week and find out that you're not getting anything, and then you're going to mix them up. But they're going to do it probably sooner than most teams would do it early in the season because they're not getting that consistency.
JR, one guy who's seemed to have figured it out early here, and it's just a lot of fun to watch him play overall, is Jake Neighbors.
Yeah.
What do you think of what you're seeing from Jake Neighbors? And, what do you think the reason is for his quick start, the way he started this season?
Well, first of all, I think that's the guy he is. That's the player he is, and that's not cliche. This is a guy, every time you talk to him, saying, Riv, that he just wants to go out there and make a difference. And, I thought Jim Montgomery said it best the other day. Jake Neighbors doesn't care where you tell him to play or how much he's going to play. He's just going to go out there and try to make an impact somehow. But that said, when you are capable of top 6 minutes and able to perform and then you get pushed down to the third line. Yes, he said all the right things, but there's got to be part of him that wants to be on that top line, top six, and he got that opportunity, and he made a difference right away. So I think that's what you're getting out of Jake Neighbors. Maybe a little bit of, hey, I showed you that I can play in the top six, and I know if you put me back up there, I can do it again. And then also, I know this is off the ice stuff, but to lose a dear friend, and, this is a kid that, a best friend that he lost, that, a hockey player as well, and he's really tight with the family. And, he said after his game in Calgary, the 2 goals, he said that, he's playing for his son or his friend, that I think it's a situation. There's just an extra motivation, I believe, that comes with that in life. And not that Jake wouldn't have had it already, but I do think that that's kind of added to what he's brought already this year.
JR, great stuff. You have a great weekend. We'll catch up with you next Friday.
Yeah, for sure. And, hey, I'm going to write a little Logan Mailloux tomorrow, and I'm going to use some Chris Pronger quotes from a certain interview yesterday. So I just wanted to thank you guys and maybe ask for permission to use those comments from 44.
Well,
absolutely.
Of course, JR.
That's why we had him on.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I think we use enough of your stuff as well, JR.
Yeah.
So.
Not so much Dom's, but yours for sure.
Yeah. Well, that'll be up tomorrow. So thank you for the goods, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, man. All right,
good
we'll
luck
see you,
this
JR.
weekend, JR.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep, thanks, buddy.
All right, thank you. That's Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider with the Athletic at JP Rutherford. His son, I guess Eli might be playing in the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
There's always a ton of tournaments going on in the Chicago area.
Yeah.
I think this used to be the big Bauer Nike tournament. I think it's the CCM now. I don't know. It's a big one.
7 Bridges.
Let's play it all over, yes.
Okay.
Not just 7 Bridges.
It's one of the locations.
It's one of the locations,
yeah.
But they play it all over. Because
one of many.
There's like 100 teams that go to this thing.
Sure.
It's hard to put them all on one ice.
That is tough.
Yeah. Just in case you didn't know that.
Cut it up.
They're not playing street hockey, too.
Still play the 200-foot game, though, regardless of what it is.
Darn right,
You gotta hold those damn kids accountable.
Yeah, Brad. Speaking of Bradford Bruns, he's got what's trending for you next on 101 ESPN.
Jamie's jersey giveaway is back during the Blues season. Our first jersey giveaway of the year is a signed Braden Shen number 10 Blues jersey.
Shen shoots, he scores!
Get entered to score that autographed jersey by Blues captain Braden Shen right now at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app. Jamie's jersey giveaway is presented by St. Luke's, ranked top 2% in the nation for cardiac surgery by health grades. Visit stlukes-stl.com.
We had a full slate in the NFL on Sunday, starting with the London matchup between the Rams and the Jaguars. And with a full slate coming at you, there's no better place to cash in on all your football takes than Underdog. And you can play right here in Missouri. You can play from your couch if you want. Just choose a few players and pick whether or not they're going to go higher or lower in their stats. It's that easy. And if you get all your entries right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play for as little as $1 if you want. I also like the fact that they've got a standard option and a flex option. Standard is just, let's say I make 3 picks, and I'll give you 3 picks for this weekend, but let's say I make 3 picks. Devontae Adams, higher than 6.5 receptions. With Puka Nacua out, you know that Matthew Stafford's going to pepper somebody, likely be Devontae Adams. I like Jaden Daniels, higher than 227.5 passing yards against a bad Dallas defense, and I like Bijan Robinson, higher than 77.5 rushing yards against a banged-up San Francisco defense. Those are my 3 picks. If I choose standard, I got to get all 3 correct. If I go with the flex option, I still get paid if I have 2 correct. That's the beauty, one of the beauties of Underdog Fantasy. Here's another one. If one of those players gets hurt in the first quarter, I get my entry fee back. They're fair about it at Underdog. I love it. So download the app today. Sign up with my promo code Anthony to score $100 in bonus funds or entries when you play your first $5. Again, that promo code is my first name, Anthony. Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 or older and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Sunday. It's an NFL triple header. Game 1, Chiefs and Raiders. Game 2, Chargers and Colts. Game 3, 49ers and Falcons. Coverage starts Sunday morning at 11. Your destination for the NFL in St. Louis is 101 ESPN. 101 ESPN Sports Center.
Blues aim to slow down Stars. Good afternoon. I'm Bradford Bruns with a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Despite last night's loss to Vancouver, Dallas has won 3 of its first 4 games this season, and the Stars arrive in town for a 6 p.m. puck drop tomorrow on 101 ESPN. St. Louis and Jim Montgomery could deploy some different line combos. Among multiple switches at this morning's practice, Matthew Kessel replaced Logan Mailloux in the final defensive pairing. Baseball. Next hour, we will get started with Toronto as well as Seattle, edging closer to the 5 p.m. hours. Those two teams battle it out in the American League Championship Series. That one is knotted at 2 games apiece. Later tonight, Los Angeles trying to knock off Milwaukee, the best team during the regular season. Dodgers up 3-0 this weekend. College football featuring Mizzou as well as Auburn. We'll talk about that one later this hour on 101 ESPN, The Fast Lane. The Sports Center update has been brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
What are the hot topics in the sports world?
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending, brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Coming up on 3:40 p.m. in the Lou, Bradford Bruns, Anthony Stalter, and Jamie Rivers with you on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. And it is time for What's Trending Now. Guys, I think we all know the pitfalls of the hot mics, right? Hot mic moments. Got to watch out for those. No doubt about it.
Bradford, I don't even want to talk about that. I don't want to bring that into the universe.
Fair enough. Evidently, though, Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson do not. Pablo Torre, okay, who's just taking no prisoners whatsoever
That guy's
these
on a
days.
mission, man.
He has released another new podcast, and this one, well, it contains a little audio from the pair about those who worked behind the scenes in their orbit. Take a listen.
We need somebody who did that for us, and we have to figure out who's available to do that. You know,
who knows how to arrange the stats? Because I have a graphics person who helped me with the website.
We need a football person.
I think they're using all the underdog people from the other things and don't know how to do anything else aside from what they do on all the other shows, which honestly, frankly, really isn't that good. The same thing that we ran, like the final thing for the coach logo that we ended up with was like white letters and a black background. I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, make it leather, like make it something.
Pablo Torre finds out indeed. This snippet, okay, it comes from the set of the now defunct Coach, which was an NFL Films presentation. Needless to say, that Hulu docuseries not exactly making it to air either. And oh, by the way, North Carolina visits Cal this evening, which is about story number 95 on the list of everything going on in Chapel Hill as the world turns at UNC, guys.
It's weird, man. It's weird. Like, I don't know. I feel like I need therapy just walking through this because not me therapy, but I got to like use my words here properly. Bill Belichick is one of the most decorated head coaches in NFL history. Arguably, maybe the best head coach. What is he famous for? He runs a tight ship. It's his way or the highway. No days off. Take less for you, more for the team. Like, non-negotiable. And now he's, and no disrespect to Jordan Hudson, because she seems, quite honestly, she seems like a very smart, driven woman. Girl, I guess. She's only 24 years old. She's younger than my daughter, which weird. Imagine Bill walking through my front door holding hands with my daughter.
No.
That's not going well, Bill.
No,
I'm sorry.
No.
But anyways, I digress.
Yeah.
I think, and I told Bradford this, I think she's doing what she's been asked to do. I think Bill Belichick, never mind their private relationship, that, you know, teach their own. I don't care.
Yeah, go pro.
You know, the whole world, you go
professional.
do you. Just don't bother me. You know, go ahead, do your thing. But I think Bill Belichick maybe, and this is my opinion only, might be using her as a firewall a little bit. And what I mean by that is all of these things that he's not happy with or doesn't like, or he's trying to create this other brand of Bill Belichick. Before he got the UNC job, he was trying to create this brand over with NFL and the ESPN and doing all this stuff. Pat McAfee was on there too. Like, I think he's using her as someone who really understands social media and the modern day way of doing things to kind of protect him. And now, is she maybe more of a pit bull than she needs to be? I don't know. I don't understand the dynamic. I don't know what the ask is of Bill Belichick from everybody in everyday life.
Right.
But unfortunately, it's all being highlighted now. Like, it's being blown up now because he took the UNC job and then went and hired Mike Lombardi, who we're finding out now he went to Saudi Arabia looking for extra NIL money for the program. What? And he's got Lombardi's son on his staff. He's got his own son. Like, it's got this crazy, like, incestual type of stuff going on here. And on top of that, his 24-year-old girlfriend is basically running his empire, the brand of Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
It all just has a weird feel to it.
100%. And I wonder, too, if... let me go this route. Bill Belichick and Michael Lombardi. If you don't know Michael Lombardi, he was a GM, I believe, for the Browns for a hot second. And he was also kind of cut his teeth under Al Davis with the Raiders. So Michael Lombardi was a scout, kind of worked his way up, and wound up making a decent name for himself, and then got out of football because nobody would hire him, and he created the podcast, the Monday Morning Quarterback podcast. The GM Shuffle. That was Peter King, the previous one. So he had the GM Shuffle, and it was a really good podcast, but he criticizes everybody.
Well, he was ruthless.
He crushes everybody, and he crushed everybody that did not want Belichick. So he crushed Washington. He of course crushed the Falcons. I mean, hammered Terry Fontenot, the GM. And the Kirk Cousins move crushed him. Michael Penix draft crushed him. You don't want, you got Raheem Morris there instead of Bill Belichick. Michael Lombardi has not looked more wrong. I'll be nice. He has not looked more wrong than for everything he has said. Less reputable with the way things have now come out about him, his style, doesn't treat people right, doesn't treat the players right, walk past everybody, is just a big jerk. All for Bill Belichick, who now looks like a joke. I've not seen two people hammer their own reputation like these two gentlemen have over the last. I mean, it only took them really 3-4 months to do this.
Yeah,
this is remarkable.
I just look at Bill, and if Bill was sitting with us in here, I would have good questions for him. I'd be like, why? Like, why are you doing this? One, you don't need the money. You don't. As long as you've been coaching in the NFL, and we've seen his last couple of contracts, Bill, he's going to be just fine, okay? One, you don't need the money. So, why are you doing this? Well, I love football. Okay, if you love football, why are you worried then about all this other branding stuff that you're doing that she has to be a part of?
Right. Because
Jordan Hudson might love to watch football, but she knows nothing about football compared to Bill Belichick. So therefore, if she needs to manage the media side, the radio interviews and all that, fine.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's not smart. Trust me, I think she's an intelligent girl, but she's not a football person. Bill, just focus on football. That's what you've been great at your entire life. Why are you worried about all this other ancillary stuff and these little TV shows and all this? Why?
Right.
Is it to stay relevant?
Right.
Because the moment
you're doing more damage.
Well, the moment Bill Belichick walks into a room, he's relevant.
Right.
So I just don't get it unless he's having a delayed midlife crisis.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, think about all the different trademark applications as well over the course of the past few months, the bulk of which honestly got denied there. But you burn enough bridges, gentlemen, and then the entire canal goes down. Remember that. What do the kids say? Fast lane around and find out?
Yes, that is exactly what's happening right now.
They're getting exactly that. Quick note here.
Quick note here.
Everybody's got a quick note.
No, well, a lot of people are saying they couldn't hear that audio. They were whispering, okay? And the gist of it is that there was a graphics team that was provided to them by NFL Films, supposedly, and they didn't know according to Jordan and Bill, they didn't know their ass from a hole in the ground, basically. And so they were whispering under their breath how they're incapable of doing their job and that she could do something better. And that's what so the hot mic got them basically lambasting the crew that was working for them.
There you go.
Yep. Quick one on the X's and O's front. We'll have much more of a college football roundtable in the 5 o'clock hour, I believe. But quickly, Anthony, the news coming out that LSU, currently an underdog going into First Bank Stadium tomorrow versus Vandy. Number 10 versus number 17 matchup. Vandy coming off of the bye. Whit Weeks, now considered doubtful, leading that team in quarterback Curry's all-SEC linebacker, led the team in sacks 1 season ago. This suddenly feels like a classic LSU mess-it-up instance, especially when the strength of that team so far this season has undeniably been the D.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he would be. So Whit Weeks, they kind of focused on him in that SEC Netflix series. If you saw that,
like a main character. Almost.
Yeah, he really was. So that would be a significant loss for them. You're absolutely right, Bradford. I mean, they have won games this year, not because of Garrett Nussmeier and that offense, which is why the only reason they won games a year ago. It's been flipped this year, and you don't have one of your top defenders against a Vanderbilt team that, while has struggled the last 2 weeks, can still put up points in a hurry. So that's going to be tough. I think it feels like an elimination game for Vanderbilt with the one loss already to Alabama.
Oh, for sure.
If they lose to LSU, you're down 2. I don't know if there's enough quote unquote good wins for Vanderbilt to still stay in the playoff picture.
Making the stakes really high the following weekend against Old MU.
And here we go. Let's get into it. Missouri-Auburn. We'll break down that game tomorrow. Next on 101 ESPN.
You can now listen to 101 ESPN on demand. Get caught up on all our shows and podcasts at 101ESPN.com or on the 101 mobile app. 101 ESPN podcasts are presented by the Schaefer Door Company. Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
We're going to learn our lessons and leave the event. We're not going to sit here and pout and make it more than it was. Learn the lesson, leave the event. We're disappointed. We had a good enough football team. We turned the ball over twice. We didn't get off the field on fourth downs and didn't stay on the field on third downs. Like, you're going to lose the game. So that's on me as a head football coach to get that stuff corrected. It's got to get corrected in practice. It's got to be executed better on Saturdays. And there's no feeling sorry for ourselves. No, man, we tried hard. That's a given.
There you go. That was Eli Drinkwitz during his press conference last week following the loss to Alabama. Now he needs to move on, and they'll look to move on. They travel to Auburn this week. Mizzou 5-1, Auburn 3-3. Missouri still ranked, of course, entering the weekend as a slight road favorite. I think they're anywhere between -2.5 to -1.5, depending on the book. This one to me, Bradford, you and I were discussing this before. I think that this is a perfect, and I mean perfect, bounce-back game for Mizzou, given the fact that this is their first road game and it's an SEC opponent.
Totally agree.
Because it's Auburn, which, look, playing down in Auburn, it's not Jordan-Hare, it's not an easy environment. But given all the other different road environments in the SEC, I think it's on the lighter side this season. And again, this is your first road game, and it's against an Auburn team that, while stout defensively, cannot move the ball offensively. I mean, they have been a train wreck at times offensively. I think it's a perfect spot for Missouri to go down there, get their confidence back, run them out hardy, do your thing, Bo Perbula. The defense will not be exposed. You know, the secondary is still an issue for Mizzou, but the front seven is going to pistol whip Auburn's offensive line, and I think this is a nice rebound game for Mizzou. It's not a perfect situation.
Yeah,
right. It's still an SEC road game, but I think this is a good spot to rebound for Mizzou.
Can we go back just for a second? You said a couple things. Okay,
give Ahmad Hardy the ball.
Yeah, you might want to freaking do that.
It's not hard.
And Bradford,
it's not hardy.
We haven't had a chance to talk about this, and you may or may not have heard my grievance, is I think Mizzou pissed away that game against Alabama. I do. I think that there were mistakes that Eli Drinkwitz specifically made throughout that game when calling his offense, and you have the #1 running back in the nation. You don't just quit running the ball because you got stuffed a couple of times. You have to keep going. You have to keep trying. Bo Perbula had 11 carries as the quarterback, and the #1 running back in the nation at 12. Mm-hmm. That's not the team's fault. That's Eli Drinkwitz's fault, or his offensive coordinator. Whoever the hell's doing that, it's their fault.
I'll second your sentiments. In fact, I will basically raise the stakes here. I think that, frankly, we let Mizzou off of the hook entirely too easily on the heels of that game. We looked at the outcome. We said, 27-24. This was a team. This was still a powerhouse. The blue blood. You hadn't defeated this squad in 50 years, and you were, this close. You had an opportunity with 90 seconds remaining to win the whole thing. But you know what? You still didn't. Mm-hmm. And the fact of the matter is that Eli Drinkwitz, for as much as we want to herald him and give him the credit for not restoring this program, but basically taking it to heights that we had not experienced since back when Gary Pinkel was at the helm. All of that is fair, but when you come out before the game, when you do in the week leading up to this contest, this pivotal matchup, SEC Nation is back in the house, and you basically are peacocking it a little bit, and you're meeting with all the national types. Thereafter, you don't do a great job of taking your medicine. Here is the reality. He is now 0-7 during his tenure in Columbia against top 10 ranked squads in the Associated Press. You had a golden opportunity, slip through your fingertips, and if you want to acknowledge, or you don't want to acknowledge, that it was a terrible game from an offensive play calling standpoint, that's fine. It was. You didn't even need one hand to count the number of touches Hardy received in the fourth quarter. He was never allowed to get in a rhythm. He was never allowed to be that bell cow guy. That was a game in which you had had to run him 25 to 30 times.
Well, look at the first drive down the field.
I understand. All the scripted stuff, it was great. And what happened? How did you react thereafter? I understand that Alabama had the ball for almost 39 minutes. I understand that it flipped the script on you. But this game was not on the secondary. As much as we wanted to go into that contest, Stultz, and we wanted to talk about how the Tigers would get shredded over the top, right? That secondary held up. You committed a couple of different boneheaded mistakes, no doubt about it, but this is an opportunity, getting back to it, to actually establish yourselves anew against Auburn, because we can talk about how Auburn was in the game, led for a portion of the first half until things went south versus Georgia last weekend. This team simply cannot finish. You're able to amass some yardage. That's great. You've got Coleman, you've got Singleton, you've got good, legitimate threats vertically. Jackson Arnold has been uber conservative. And also, now that you've dismissed your leading running back, a team captain, Jamari Alston, who's going to be running the ball? Who's going to be running the ball against the second-ranked rushing defense in the land? This thing lines up, as much as I certainly had issues with the way last weekend played out, it lines up as well as could be expected for your road opener, and 4 of your last 6 games are away from the cozy confines.
Quick question for you
Jeremiah
guys.
Cobb, by the way, will be the starting running back for Auburn, and good luck.
Hugh Freeze literally said, next man up, not shedding any tears.
Well,
good luck, Mr. Freeze.
All right, I got a question for you guys. And I've seen it a couple of different times. Yesterday or a couple of days ago when I talked about this game, and I just saw it again. Will Hardy fumbled. So what? Emmitt Smith fumbled the ball.
You bite your tongue.
Bo Jackson fumbled the ball. Herschel Walker fumbled the ball. All of the great running backs have a moment where they fumble the ball. You don't remove it from them permanently at that point. Where do you think the confidence goes then for the athlete? Give the friggin' ball right back to him and tell him, don't worry about it. I know that was a one-time thing. You're going to go score a touchdown.
And
go win the game.
That is a legitimate criticism as it pertains to the entire team. Tim was actually talking about this on TMA a couple of days ago. Mizzou, all told, has fumbled it a total of 9 times as a team so far this season. You've only lost 1 of those. At some point, the odds, they're going to flip in a negative way.
Right. I do like the bounce back opportunity tomorrow, though, for Mizzou. I think this is a spot where they go down, and again, without Auburn, their leading rusher, I have not loved what I've seen out of Auburn's quarterback, who, he had his big moment. He was going to have his big moment against Oklahoma, Jackson Arnold. His big moment against Oklahoma a couple weeks ago and fell flat. It's not a great offense for Auburn. Now, I do think defensively, just like they did against Georgia last week, they kept the game in the game in check, right? Like Auburn got a 10-0 lead, but as soon as Georgia got a little momentum late in the second quarter, then they came out and it was like 3-and-out Auburn, 3-and-out Auburn, 3-and-out Auburn. They figured out what Auburn was doing offensively, and time of possession swung in Georgia's favor, and Georgia was able to make some big plays in the second half and pull away. I see a similar game tomorrow.
Do you think Freeze makes it through the entire season?
No.
I'm honestly not sure about the buyout situation. We knew they would start 3-0. Nice win on the road in Waco versus Baylor. But it's playing out exactly as anticipated, and the most brutal stretch of your schedule, it's still to come.
Agreed. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. The Gauntlet. We got a returning Gauntlet member next on 101 ESPN.
Oh, man, it's going to be an awesome weekend of sports. So many great sporting events that you can throw a little bit of money on. And that's why I have downloaded Circus Sports Illinois, the app, a long time ago, for that matter. They are the world's largest sports book, and now it's in the palm of your hand. Super easy to find them, too. Just go to their website or any app store for that matter. Download Bet Like a Pro immediately with your Circus Sports app. You like predicting the future? Well, they've got great lines on futures bets available. Type money line splits. They've got the best odds of any app that are out there. Download every other app, compare the odds. You'll see that Circa Sports is the leader in that field. That means bigger payouts for you. And my guy, Derek Stevens, when he first started Circa Sports, the casino in Las Vegas, he had visions of this getting into the hands of everybody in the United States. And it's coming soon to the state of Missouri, December 1st. So please get ahead of everything. Download your Circa Sports Illinois app today and join in on all the excitement that Circa Sports is providing. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Spread Zone, where sports betting meets reckless optimism, questionable logic, and the occasional stroke of genius. With hosts Anthony Stalter, Tim McKernan, and Scott Rizzuto. Check out the latest from the Spread Zone at 101ESPN.com or the 101 mobile app. The Spread Zone is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more. Two former pros and one average Joe. You're listening to The Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
It is 4:04. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Bradford Bruns, who's in for Andrew Marsh and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome back Aaron. What's up, Aaron?
How's it going, guys? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, too. Buddy. Congrats again on your round 1 victory. We mentioned it today. It's going to have to be me because Marsh and Carey are both out. So if you get
Bradford writes a lot of the questions.
Bradford writes the questions, so you can't choose Bradford. You don't want to do that. But you'll have an opportunity if you get past me today to take on either Carey or Marsh on. Well, Carey on Monday.
Carey on Monday.
Yeah, so this thing's set up for you, Aaron.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
We've made the hard decisions for you.
That's right. So good luck, Aaron. You got me today.
Sounds great.
All right, Anthony, get the hell out of here. Get over to the Cone Silence where it's empty. In fact, the whole building's pretty much empty. Nobody works here on Friday except for us.
Sensing a trend, Jamie.
Yeah, I don't play. I'm just jealous, that's all. All right, Aaron, usually I'd say tell Marshy to spin that wheel, but tell Bradford, spin that wheel.
Bradford, spin that wheel.
All right, you got Anthony. What do you think your best chance is against Anthony?
I would say maybe baseball, random, one of those two.
All right, well, you got yourself some random, buddy.
All right.
Yeah. All right, random it is. Bradford's handing out the questions here. While he does so, we'll just remind everybody who's listening that each question's worth 2 points. And if you use the options at any point, the question then becomes worth 1 point. If you get it wrong, you get no points. And if we're tied, at the end of all this, we will have a tiebreaker. Aaron, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go, buddy. Question 1. In 2005, who became NASCAR's youngest Cup Series pole winner at 19 years and 317 days?
me get the options.
Was it Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, or Carl Edwards?
Let me go Joey Logano.
Final?
Final answer.
Thank you.
Missouri's own Carl Edwards, if I'm not mistaken. Question number 2. Who was our president, Aaron, when the U.S. Army Special Forces Green Berets became part of the official uniform?
Oof.
Let me get the options on that one, too.
Okay. They are John F. Kennedy, Dwight D. Eisenhower, or Richard Nixon.
Let's go Nixon. Final answer.
All right. A couple of easy ones to start this off.
No doubt.
Question 3. Tell us the year in which Lil Nas X released the country trap song Old Town Road on TikTok.
It's all for you, Jamie.
Oh, yeah. I know this song.
Oh, goodness. Let me get the options on that, too.
2019, 2020, or 2022?
I will go with 2019.
Final?
Final answer.
Thank you.
And finally, Aaron, the Parade of Nations is a fixture of the Olympics opening ceremony. When did said event make its first appearance? Give you a hint as well. These Olympic Games were held in London.
Oh, that makes it much easier.
Need the year.
Options.
1956, 1948, or 1908?
1948. Final answer.
Okay.
All right, let's get Anthony back in here. Aaron, how you feeling, bud?
Not so hot today.
You can't imagine why.
He's going to love these.
Oh, man. All right, Anthony's back in here, plugging in his ears. Anthony, we know there was nobody in the cone of silence, but how was it?
I actually went to the bathroom, came back, so
Did you? How
yeah, it was
that?
fine. It was good. Everything worked as it should.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Good job. Proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, your category today is random. And you better pack a lunch.
Need a key.
Question 1. In 2005, who became NASCAR's youngest Cup Series pole winner at 19 years and 317 days old?
What year?
2005.
2005.
Yeah.
I'll take the options, please.
Okay. Was it Joey Logano,
Maybe.
Kyle Busch, or Carl Edwards?
I feel like Joey Logano was around either before or after that. I'm going to eliminate him. So the other two were Carl Edwards. I feel like Carl Edwards has been around a while. And then who? Kyle Busch?
Yeah.
Kind of seems like a sweet spot for him. I'll go Kyle Busch. Final answer.
If Marshy has taught me one thing, it's that you have to be willing to put the poll out there. So, genesis of that question.
It certainly does help.
Absolutely. Yeah. Question number 2. Who was our president when the U.S. Army Special Forces Green Berets became part of the official uniform?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, options.
John F. Kennedy, Dwight D. Eisenhower, or Richard Nixon?
Sounds like a JFK thing, right? I'll go with John F. Kennedy. Final answer.
Question 3. This is right up your alley, by the way.
Thank you.
Tell us the year in which Lil Nas X released his country trap song Old Town Road on TikTok.
You know what's funny about that song? 1, Madeline, my daughter, loves it.
A lot of people love it.
2, when we did, I don't know, you were definitely with the station, but we had a celebrity like softball game at the O'Fallon Hoots before we did like the home run derbies and stuff. So it was me, Jeff Burton, our guy Jeff Burton was there.
I was not there.
You were not there.
I was not part of the station yet.
Okay, we played like it was Lance Berkman. It was like all the Cardinals and then us, and then on the other side was Pat Maroon.
Yeah.
And that was Pat Maroon's, like they made that his walk-up song. So I'm assuming it was around that time, and that would have been, so the Blues had just won the Cup. So I'm assuming it was either like literally 2019 2018 or it was either 2018 or 2019. So I'm going to take the options, and I'm going to hope that one of those years is there, and I'll just eliminate it. So what are the options?
2019, 2020, or 2022?
No, it has to be 2019 because they were playing that song for Pat Maroon for his little walk-up song. So 2019, final answer.
Last but not least, Staltz, the Parade of Nations. That is a fixture of the Olympics opening ceremony. When did said event make its debut? So we need the year, and I will give you a hint because it will help immensely. These Olympic Games, they were held in London.
That helped.
I can see it in your face.
The options, please. You can see the options in my face.
1956, 1948, 1908.
Wait, what? 1948, 1958?
56?
Or 1908?
That's correct.
I'll take the outlier. I'll take 1908. Final answer.
Not chronological order.
No,
clearly.
not at all. Which
All
stood
right.
up to me in my weird brain.
Let's go over these. Let's start right there. The Parade of Nations is a fixture of the Olympics opening ceremony. When did said event make its first appearance? Again, the hint was that the Olympic Games were held in London. Aaron took the options. Said 1948. Anthony took the options and took the outlier. 1908. Answer is.
Well, it was just like yesterday, 1908,
Anthony
of course.
gets it with the outlier. So question 3. Tell us the year in which Lil Nas X released the country trap song Old Town Road on TikTok. Aaron said 2019. Anthony said 2019. Answer is.
Remix or not, this one was released on TikTok in 2019.
2019. Both of you needed the options.
Okay, I was about to say. Come on. Come on now.
Okay. Let's go. Question 1.
Seemed aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
What? What did I do?
You're mocking me.
No. When I mock, I use that voice. Yeah, I use that one.
That's true.
You know? Otherwise, I'm supporting you with that. Yeah. No?
Feels like it. No, yeah, it does.
Okay,
It feels
good.
like it.
I like when you do the deep voice better. Just preference.
All right, but it's you know, it's what I hear when he talks. So, in 2005, who became NASCAR's youngest Cup Series pole winner at 19 years and 317 days old? Anthony, you said Kyle Busch. Aaron said Joey Logano. Answer is.
The pole winning efforts came not from Curt, but brother Kyle Busch.
All right, we're down to the final question. Who was our president when the U.S. Army Special Forces Green Berets became part of the official uniform? Anthony took the option, said, yeah, it seems like a JFK thing. Aaron said Richard Nixon. Aaron.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
It was JFK. Anthony wins 4-1.
Oh.
Swept the table with options.
Staltz.
Sorry, Aaron. Anthony was in the zone today.
That's all right. Nice job, Anthony.
Hey, thank you, Aaron. Appreciate you listening. Thanks for playing.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Have a great weekend. Thank you. All right.
He sounded upset.
He should be. He's a competitor.
My man.
I think the questions may have upset him.
Oh, I don't blame him.
Those are tough.
They were very
Those
tough.
were tough. That was very random.
That was very random.
I'm in today. It doesn't happen that frequently. This is your opportunity. If you're listening, if you're battling in the gauntlet, take me to task. It's all right. I'm already open to constructive criticism. It's okay.
But you followed the rules. You orchestrated the assignment perfectly. They are very random. It's not your fault that they're really hard.
Well,
true enough. But I when we used to do this, when we shared the duties, I did random. and it was extremely difficult to continue coming up with random questions.
Yeah, you had animal stuff in there.
All sorts of craziness.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, It was different. It was a different version. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, it certainly was.
I've learned my lesson, though. We are tabling spelling for at least a month. There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that just never plays. Math and spelling on this show. Gee.
How many times have I attempted math?
None.
I don't know.
Unless it's the tiebreaker, but that's kind of, you have to
Can't be
do the
helped.
tiebreaker.
But even that works
in
against
math.
us.
100%. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN NFL Week 7 biggest storylines next.
Jamie's jersey giveaway is back during the Blues season. Our first jersey giveaway of the year is a signed Braden Shen number 10 Blues jersey.
Shen shoots, he scores!
Get entered to score that autographed jersey by Blues captain Braden Shen right now at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app. Jamie's jersey giveaway is presented by St. Luke's, ranked top 2% in the nation for cardiac surgery by health grades. Visit stlukes-stl.com.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Buckle up. This is the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. NFL Week 7 biggest storylines. Well, the big storyline, at least to start the week, was certainly last night as a couple of graybeards did their thing. Joe Flacco, dominant. Aaron Rodgers, dominant. Wound up being pretty much the guy who had the ball last, which in this case was Joe Flacco.
Which, by the way, can we
although Aaron Rodgers had the Hail Mary attempt.
Yeah, but can we talk about that for a second? Because I don't think we give enough credit sometimes to football players for having a really high IQ.
Good call.
And it was T. Higgins who caught that, who would have easily trotted into the end zone.
Yep.
Great point.
Easily.
Yep.
But then that would have given the ball back to the Pittsburgh Steelers like a minute and a half or a minute and 40 left in the game.
Too much time.
So not that he didn't trust his defense, but the right play was to hit the ground and then force everybody to use their timeouts, run the clock down, set it up for the game-winning field goal.
Yep.
In that moment, when the lights are the brightest and the crowd's going crazy and it's a massive opportunity to upset the Steelers, he had enough wherewithal to grab that 2 steps and go whoop to the ground.
The only way that game
100%.
could have been more interesting is if T. Higgins had pulled an Eddie and released the ball before crossing the goal line.
Oh, boy.
That was it.
Yeah.
Top
Not
2
great.
most entertaining games this year, though, that opener, Ravens-Bills,
Yeah.
and last night. You can't top those.
Yeah.
It was a great game. I wanted to give T. Higgins his props here because it was a really smart football play.
No, you're absolutely right, Jamie. We really didn't mention that. We got caught up in the Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers and all that stuff in the opening segment, but you're 100% right. One of the best heads-up plays that you'll see, T. Higgins slides down. I also wouldn't be shocked, and I'm not taking anything away from T. Higgins, because in that moment, you're right, Jamie. You get the ball, you see the end zone, you're trying. But I wouldn't be shocked if Joe Flacco reminded everybody in that huddle, do not score.
As a veteran player, he might have.
And that's if you listen to even Penix on Monday night, they caught him. He was mic'd, and he was telling everybody on that drive, do not score, do not score, do not score. That's what you have to do if you're going to be a leader. Anyways, moving on. Biggest storylines for Week 7 in the NFL. I think one of the biggest storylines is whether or not the Eagles offensively are going to rebound. Are they going to figure things out against Minnesota and one of the best defensive coordinators in the league, Brian Flores? I would wager no, but it doesn't mean the Eagles can't obviously win this game because the Vikings have their own issues. The number one being, can Carson Wentz beat his old team? Can you put together a game plan? And Minnesota had a bye last week, so Minnesota has an opportunity. They had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. Kevin O'Connell, incredibly bright.
Yep.
I think this is going to be a fascinating matchup because either Philadelphia loses, and again, we're going over the same storylines with the Eagles and their struggles, or Minnesota loses and they fall further behind in an NFC North where every team right now, as we sit, has a winning record.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can't compile losses, and they're going to play. They're playing now a second place schedule. So I think that matchup on Sunday is going to be fascinating.
I think the matchup on Monday too, the Buccaneers-Lions. Who's the best team in the NFC?
Yeah.
The Eagles can say what they want, defending Super Bowl champ. They're not, as of right now, and maybe that's part of the storyline that you just said.
Sure.
Maybe they blend together. But I think the Buccaneers-Lions is like, it's the heavyweight championship right now. Who's the top dog in the NFC?
Mm-hmm.
That's can't miss for me, that game.
Yeah.
Bucs-Lions game number 1 of the doubleheader we'll have right here on 101 ESPN. One last thought as well about Eagles and Vikings. Stoltz, as much as we want to talk about the offensive problems, right, and the maladies for the Eagles, and heaven knows I fall into that category as well. How about an old-school defensive performance from Philly in this one? Already this season, 3 different games, 3 different times you've given up 25 or more points. Last Thursday, compounded that much more. You surrendered 31 to Jackson Dart and the Giants. It's time for that unit to step up in equal measure.
Oh, I agree. Well said. I also think this is a nice. There's a couple of different games here where a team has an opportunity to either continue to prove itself or provide some doubt for national viewers. For example, and this is to a lesser extent because they are 5-1, but the Colts. You had brought this up earlier, Jamie. Yep. Colts go to L.A. They've gone to L.A. once this year. They lost to the Rams, a very close game. If Adon Mitchell doesn't fumble the ball, same thing as DeMarcado. If he doesn't fumble the ball going into the end zone, he doesn't have a big penalty called against him in the second half, maybe they win that game. Regardless, the Colts have really pounded on teams that aren't very good thus far. No disrespect to them because they've looked good, But I thought for the first time last week, the defense looked a little sketchy. And that was against Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals, who had not been doing anything offensively this season. So I think the Colts have an opportunity to prove that they can keep this thing rolling, but they got to do so as a small underdog. I think Atlanta has a golden opportunity.
Yeah.
No Brock Purdy, no Ricky Pearsall. George Kittle's going to be back, but Mac Jones has played very well in Brock Purdy's stay. But another loss there with Fred Warner on the defense. No Fred Warner, no Nick Bosa. The last time Atlanta had a national TV game where they flexed it was against Minnesota in week 2. Remember that game?
I do.
Defensively, they got after McCarthy. That was like the national, is J.J. McCarthy not great? Is this going to go sideways? The very next week, they lost 30-0 to Carolina on the road. So they come off the Buffalo game, short week, another national primetime game. It's a Sunday night game. They got to go to San Francisco. I think this is another game or another team that has an opportunity to prove itself. Because if you're Atlanta, you have to keep proving yourself. If you're the Colts, you have to keep proving yourself. Because everybody's got doubts because nobody really believed in you coming in. 2 winnable games, but 2 road games where you're a slight underdog.
Elsewhere in the NFC, I am really intrigued as well by Dallas and Washington there at AT&T Stadium. And technically, yes, Washington still remains ahead of Dallas in the divisional race. But I'm left wondering, Stoltz, which team actually needs this one at this time more? Because you think about the Commanders, the path that obviously this team has gone on so far this season, and nobody thought, in my opinion, that you'd be able to replicate the success you enjoyed last season. Daniels had to be superhuman. You had the schedule advantage there as well.
Yeah.
And now just attrition, injury striking galore. Whereas for Dallas, too, you expect to get Lamb back at wide receiver. But it was cute a couple of weeks ago when Williams was running the football very well, too. And now some of those same habits, some of those same things, especially on the defensive side of the football. I love this offense, and it is there for the taking against the Commanders' D, in my opinion. But I don't have a great feel for this one. It is a monumental game early in the season, but that's going to be one I'm watching as well.
So this is how I view this game. Who am I going to be more critical of if they lose? And for me, it's hands down Washington. Because if you go to Dallas, coming off the Bears loss, in which you were sloppy offensively and not great defensively, and you don't get a win against the worst defense in the league, and you allow Dallas to rejoin, I mentioned this before, you allow Dallas to rejoin that NFC East party, because now you're 3-4 if you're Washington, and now you're 3-1 if you're Dallas. You're even now. If Jaden Daniels doesn't get it done, Terry McLaurin or not, against a bad Dallas defense, I think I'm going to be more critical of them than Dallas, who we know has shortcomings on that side of the ball. Like if Dak Prescott at once they lose 33-30, right? I'm going to be like, well, hey, Jaden Daniels balled out. What are you going to do? But if Washington loses, coming off that bad game against Chicago, the game you blew, coming off a season last year, like you said, Bradford, where everybody loved you, but you were in a lot of close games and an easy schedule, I think I'd be more critical of Washington losing that game.
See, I'm a bit on the flip side, though, because then I look at this team, I view this organization, and I say fraudulent as far as the results of the first few weeks. Dak Prescott notwithstanding, because you just lost to Carolina. You blew it by 3 points. If you can't hold serve at home, then that would really raise some doubts for me.
That's interesting. I like that, too. By the way, both Monday night games, there's some storylines there. Tampa, Detroit, as Jamie has mentioned. Houston, Seattle, I think is fascinating. Is Houston getting back? Like, are they on the comeback trail? Because they had a rough opener. Then they handled business against Tennessee. They shut them out 26-0.
Tennessee, though.
Tennessee's not a real NFL team, and you beat Baltimore's backups, but you did it in convincing fashion.
I don't know if I'm ready to say that the Texans have discovered anything. You
What if
played
they
two of the worst teams that probably Georgia or Ohio State would beat right now.
What if they beat Seattle?
Then I think yes.
That's kind of the point.
But that would be one game that I'm like, okay, wow, good game.
You're a harsh critic.
No, I'm not. I'm just being realistic.
But I like your attitude.
Anthony, if you had to take your life savings and tomorrow,
all $10,
the Titans were to play Ohio State, heads up, who are you putting your money on?
No.
Where's the game?
Wherever you want it to be.
Is that the shoe?
It could be anywhere. It could be a neutral site game. I don't care.
I'll take Tennessee. That's
a tough one.
Still the NFL.
I still believe that too.
They're still an NFL team.
Still an NFL team, but
I'm doing the air quotes if you're not watching on the
but that'd be tough.
The Buckeyes were disappointed by their outing defensively against Illinois. What are we saying here? The only thing that matters to me when it comes to Houston, can you keep C.J. Stroud upright for more than a week at a time? That's all that matters,
and
frankly.
Can you keep
because
him making good decisions? Because that's been a bit of an issue here.
Wasn't 2 weeks ago.
No,
but you're right, Jamie. They did face Baltimore's backups defensively. All right, moving on. Air Comfort Service text line is 314-399-9646. If you have any questions, we're going to do 2 parts of the Sports Six-Pack, so start rolling in those questions. We'll answer them next.
Ready to hit the fairway with a crew from the morning after? 101 ESPN and Michelob Ultra present the Tee It Up with TMA giveaway. One lucky winner and a guest will score a free round of golf with Tim and Jackson of the morning after at Fox Run Golf Club. The guys will bring the banter, the birdies, and of course the Ultra. And you just need to bring your swing. It's your chance to hang out and enjoy a laid-back round with Tim and Jackson. Use the code SWING to get entered to win now. Either at 101ESPN.com or the 101 mobile app. Must be 21. The Tee It Up with TMA giveaway is courtesy of Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Check out the Last Minute Blues podcast with Alex Ferrario, Donnie Fandango, and Jeremy Rutherford on 101 ESPN. The guys bring you the latest news and nuggets on your St. Louis Blues.
The Last Minute Blues podcast is presented by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Your St. Louis roofing experts. Visit BlueNoteRoofing.com for a free inspection. Watch or listen to the Last Minute Blues podcast now at 101ESPN.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
Stars to arrive in town shortly. Good afternoon. This is Bradford Bruns with your Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m., 101 ESPN brings you Puck Drop between the Blues and the Stars. Dallas lost last night against Vancouver by the final of 5-3. STL, meanwhile, trying to bounce back from that defeat earlier in the week at home against Chicago. Pre-game with Alex Ferrario coming your way at 5 p.m., 1 hour before Puck Drop. Weekend football, pro and college variety, starting with the gridiron. As far as Mizzou is concerned, the Tigers traveling to Auburn, 6:45 p.m. kickoff on Saturday night at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Other top 25 matchups including LSU Vandy, Ole Miss Georgia, Tennessee Bama, as well as Utah BYU, and we will discuss more of those during the 5 o'clock hour of the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. The Sports Center update was driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet plus Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at Londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Strap yourself in. You're in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
I have a question.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
All right, time for the Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 314-399-9646 is how you can participate. That's the Air Comfort Service text line. Bradford Bruns in for Andrew Marsh, and he has question one.
Question number one.
All right, gents, this one comes from the 618 earlier in the show. We spent a little bit of time discussing the new deal, the contract extension for Curt Cignetti. He, of course, is the third most well-compensated coach now in all of college football. The 618 wants to know, how high should Mizzou be willing to go if it takes as much to keep Eli Drinkwitz?
Let me ask you a follow-up question. Do they want to keep Eli Drinkwitz?
Oh, please.
Oh, yeah, I think they do.
I'm just asking. Hear me out. And there's a couple of texters think I have it out for Eli Drinkwitz. I don't. I like Drink. I think he's an excellent recruiter. He hasn't been able to win a big game, but apart from that, I think he's done a very nice job with Mizzou. But hear me out for a second. What if they stub their toe against Auburn? What if? We don't think they will, because we already went through that earlier in the show. But what if? Then they've got Vandy, A&M, Oklahoma down the stretch too. What if they stub their toe again against, well, maybe not even. What if they just get beat by two of those teams? That's a 4-loss season now.
But that's the SEC for you.
I know,
at this point.
But are you backing up the Brinks truck for 4 losses?
When's the contract up, Bradford?
Oh, my gosh.
Do we know?
Before the season, he basically had 6-7 additional years tacked on. Now, it's all relative in college football. What is the buyout?
He's good.
And all of that. But by the same token, guys, I can attest to you, he is absolutely, for all of the slings and arrows of a couple of seasons ago, especially right after the pandemic, he's absolutely worshipped there. Okay?
Oh, I know. He talks a good game.
Well, that's the thing. And to some extent,
what is your deal?
Some extent, hey.
I feel like after I talked to him, I just bought shower curtain rings or something.
Wow. They're important.
He's selling me something all the time.
Hey, the folksy nature
on Amazon
and all of that, it's all well and good when you're racking up double-digit win campaigns. Heck, next season is more than manageable on the surface, too. But talk to me when we get to 2027, because have you looked at that schedule for that season?
No.
Trust me, I have entirely too many times. We go through these ebbs and flows, but right now he's already the 11th highest paid coach in the country per USA Today from just a month or so ago. He's perfectly fine. There's no need to worry right now.
He's fine. He's fine. And as far as recruiting goes, yeah, he's a great recruiter, but 314 brings up a great point here, too, that Mizzou is one of the highest-paying colleges for the NIL. They're able to pay in-state kids before they're even in college.
Well, think of how many he's flipped in the last week alone, too. He's always on it.
I know he is. I give him full credit for that.
He's hustling.
I don't know.
He's not going anywhere.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
And honestly, the answer to this question, the answer to this question is depends on how much somebody else is willing to pay him. Because Penn State was going to pay Curt Cignetti whatever he wanted, probably. I'm assuming.
This is only a compliment to the coaching staff, to the institution, to Mizzou overall. Not taking any of the credit.
There you go.
Yes.
Question number 2.
What's your problem with drink?
I don't have a problem.
I feel it.
From the 314, Jamie, I'm going to put this one in your wheelhouse, which is exactly where Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is operating. Is he having the most dangerous postseason since, let's say, David Ortiz back in the day versus the Cardinals? Is he as dangerous as Big Papi was then? Why are they pitching to him?
Yeah, I don't know. There's 2 guys that I probably avoid pitching to right now in the ALCS. It's Cal Raleigh for the Mariners and Vlad Guerrero Jr. for the Blue Jays. Yeah, but I guess you get to a point where you got to pitch to him at some point, right? No,
I mean the lineup for Toronto is very good. So, I mean you could try to pitch around him as much as you can, but you get to a spot where you have to challenge him, and
at some point you can't just keep putting him on base.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Well, again, because Toronto offensively has been that good. I mean, they have the depth within their lineup to put up crooked numbers like they've done the last 2 nights.
Without Bo Bichette to boot.
Yeah,
that's crazy to think of, too.
Leading hitter throughout the regular season. It's nuts.
All right, we'll do one more this segment.
Question number 3.
Also from the 314, also pertaining to the college pigskin. Guys, any chance whatsoever that Nick Saban could be wooed away from the game day set to take over, drumroll please, you know the school, Penn State?
I don't think he's going to Penn State.
I don't think so.
I think if LSU came calling, he might go back there.
Like the symmetry.
I do think that could be a possibility. But if I was to put myself in Nick Saban's shoes just for a second, why?
Mm-hmm.
He has an unbelievable gig right now. Is the most relatable Nick Saban has ever been to any of the college football audiences ever. Pat McAfee has turned him into a sensation because they're so polar opposite, and Saban plays his part perfect. McAfee plays his part perfect. Mm-hmm. College kids are loving Nick Saban, whereas before he was like Bill Belichick. You know, you're like, So again, we go back to Bill. Hey, Bill, what should you do with your career? Maybe look at what Nick Saban is doing.
Yeah, Nick Saban has done it right since retiring from coaching. Bill Belichick has taken every wrong move. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think he goes to Penn State. I could see if like Brian Kelly gets ousted in Baton Rouge, he goes down there since obviously he had roots there, but I just can't see it. I think he sticks. I think he sticks with ESPN.
He's having a good time too.
Yeah,
he's got to be making good money.
Yeah, and if he wants to scout games and do that stuff, he can. But
a little more time with Miss Terry. Hey, if that situation though, if he hated or was frowning upon the landscape 18 months ago, has it all of a sudden turned? Is it strikingly different? No, it's only amplified.
Exactly.
No.
And DLW 1904 in the Snake Pit brings up an outstanding point. Saban is also running a B&B. So, no, he's got his bed and breakfast there. He's got his rules out, and he says, hey,
that's a funny commercial.
Curfew's about 9 o'clock.
That's a funny commercial.
No having fun, things like that. So, Saban knows what he's doing. All right, part 2 of the Sports Six Pack is next. 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. Keep those questions coming in. Part 2 next.
It's an NFL Monday night doubleheader. Game 1, Lions and Bucks. Game 2, Seahawks and Texans. Coverage starts at 5. Your destination for the NFL in St. Louis is 101 ESPN.
Toronto with 0 down, 0% APR for 60 months, and no payments for 3 months. That's right, no tricks, just scary good treats. And here's the kicker. Auto Centers Nissan has over 1,000 new and used vehicles all in one spot. No running around, no gimmicks, just the biggest selection in St. Louis. Plus, all new Nissans are backed by a complimentary lifetime warranty and a 30-day return promise. Already own a Nissan? No problem. Bring it in for service, and your first oil change is free, even if you didn't buy from Auto Centers. So don't wait. These scary good deals disappear soon. Visit AutoCentersNissan.com online or in person off I-55 and McNutt Street in Herculaneum, Missouri. And again, tell them that Anthony Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan and AutoCentersNissan.com.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
All right, part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack is now in the Fast Lane, 314-399-9646 with Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, and Bradford Bruns has question number 4.
Question number 4.
The 618 once again weighs in, guys. Not the biggest game on the schedule this weekend, or perhaps even tonight, but any thoughts on Minnesota hosting Nebraska? And secondarily, is it a foregone conclusion that Matt Rule will be contacted first by PSU?
Yeah, so Matt Rule, by the way, has a couple of interesting things in his contract. I was doing a little digging the other day, and he can't, based upon the language that is in there. He's committed, like the contract is such as where he can't just willfully leave the contract. He can't.
It's all malleable in this day and age, isn't it?
Now, can he leave money on
Depends.
the table? I don't know
what malleable means.
I don't know how he would get around it, especially if the university is like, no, we don't want you to leave our program. Based on the language that I've seen is that no can do. The only way he can do it is to be fired, and then he's also got a clause in there that says if he actively talks to other schools or other job opportunities that, he can be fined and things like that. So I don't know. Every situation has an out, even legally. There's situations where maybe Matt Rule pays back a portion of the money to Nebraska that he made. Who knows? But I think it's a sticky situation.
As far as the game is concerned, I know Minnesota's a 7.5-point underdog. They've beaten Nebraska 5 straight times.
Jeez.
5 straight times they've beaten Nebraska. 7.5-point dog tonight. And 7 out of the last 10 meetings between the two teams has gone to the goldenest of Gophers.
So I found the clause.
Is it Santa?
Nope. He'll be coming soon. Not quite this early. But this is Matt Rule, the clause in his contract. It's a little lengthy, but Bradford, I'm sure you'll love the words that are used in here.
Bring them on. Come on, buddy.
Unless the coach has been provided a notice of termination in accordance with the other provisions of this agreement, neither the coach nor anyone acting on the coach's behalf shall engage in any discussions or negotiations with any other prospective employer without notifying the athletic director in advance of those discussions or negotiations. The coach understands that ongoing rumors or media reports of such negotiations are damaging to the program, and the parties expressly agree that time is of the essence as to the provision, and the same shall be strictly construed. So basically, he's got to ask permission of the athletic director to talk to anybody or anybody on his behalf.
As a master of speaking in generalities, That is as vague as it gets.
But
Come on.
They do that on purpose.
I know.
So that the blanket covers a lot of area.
So what does it mean, really?
It means, it's pretty simple. The first sentence tells you everything. And listen, I know about contracts and this stuff. This I'm actually pretty good at. Unless the coach has been provided a notice of termination in accordance with the other provisions of his agreement, means he has to he has to continue doing his coaching role as best as he possibly can. Neither the coach nor anyone on the coach's behalf shall engage in discussions. So that means even if he's rumored out there, like that could be also damaging in this case. So it's vague on purpose to cover more of a legal area.
Makes sense.
Question number 5.
From the 314, the figure is 115. Over or under on that rushing total for Ahmad Hardy?
Over. Unless Drink is half asleep again.
Oh, Jamie, holy smokes.
You act as if he's still pulling the trigger on all these plays.
Jeez.
Kirby Moore, he's not interviewing with Arkansas. He's right there in the booth. He's on it.
Bradford, let me ask you a question. Bradford. You're a smart guy.
Thank you.
Okay? You're running a company. You're the CEO of a business. And there's one part of your business that's lacking that you know can thrive. And you just continuously let it fail on purpose because it's somebody else's job?
Well,
Wait,
continuously, that's a bit of a stretch. Sorry.
You're the CEO.
Yep.
Don't you have final say?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm the architect.
Wouldn't you turn to your offensive coordinator and say, hey, why does this machine only have so many carries here? Why have we only given him the ball 4 times in the second half?
Having been in attendance there last Saturday, I think the silence immediately after the game regarding that subject spoke volumes from Drink.
I think the silence,
he didn't touch it.
I think the silence during the game from Drink to his offensive coordinator tells a bigger story.
Here's what I think. You can exploit Auburn in a number of ways on the ground. You can do it with Ahmad Hardy. He can reach the century mark, and you can still get it to one of, in Drink's words, the best running backs in the country, in Jamal Roberts, too. No fakes this time. Just straight up a cool 60-plus yards from him, too. The dual threats, dual attack. Yeah.
I don't know. 115 is a lot. I'll take the under on that, but I do think that Ahmad Hardy.
Somebody doesn't like Mizzou.
Stop it. I just said there's a perfect matchup. Auburn offensively is going to get shut down.
Whatever.
I care about the carries because the yards, frankly, they're going to take care of themselves. And I care also about Bo Prabula not throwing a first-half pick or a pick of any kind for the 5th consecutive game.
Amen.
All security, more efficiency.
Take care of the football. Run the rock. Play great defense. Get out of there. 27-10 win. Book it, baby.
Question number 6.
And finally, let's get some hockey back into the proceedings here from the 314. When is the headbutt-rearing Buchnevich going to return? We need more aggressiveness.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing, although that was a bit of a wild card the moment he reared back and headbutted a guy in the face. I didn't hate it. I was very shocked. Yeah, I'd like to see a little more life out of Buch. See, Buch is a very emotional player, and sometimes it works against him, too, because we've seen in the past where he gets so angry and frustrated, and he's mad at himself, and he's yelling at himself, and he's doing all these things, and that really doesn't help you. It doesn't, because it drags you into a dark space to where you feel like you can't do the job. So, as crazy as it sounds, sometimes when you think you can't do the job, you physically don't do the job. It's like your body listens to your brain, which is why the mental aspect of anything in life is so important, because if you believe you can, then usually you can, within reason. Like, I don't think I can step off the top of the building and fly.
No, don't do that.
No matter how much I think I can, it won't happen.
Not yet.
Not yet. Let's wait on that.
Not ever. How about we just go with that?
Are you saying you want me to try? What is Bradford saying?
I don't want to speculate on what Bradford's saying. All I don't want you to do is think you're Peter Pan. You know?
Why is it got to be Peter Pan?
Look, Wendy, I can fly.
I'm a Superman.
How about one of those guys from Thunderbolts or, the MCU?
Peter Pan?
Getting back in the swing of things.
Look, I can fly.
Yeah, as a little boy.
Well, he was a man.
No, he wasn't. He's a little boy. He was
Only
like
when he went back to
his little skinny arms and legs.
Belleville.
Listen, you don't have to call me Superman, but I'm not Peter Pan.
I'm not calling you Peter Pan.
You did, though. You said like Peter Pan. I don't want to be compared to that.
Peter Pan could fly.
Who's the Wendy in this circumstance?
Marsh.
Yeah.
What? What's your problem? Who are you?
Well, I've been listening to you dump on Eli Drinkowitz for a while now. Maybe we dump on you.
Oh, sorry, I talked about the obvious. The elephant in the room.
I just saved your life 30 seconds ago.
From what?
Jumping off the roof.
Well, because Bradford was ready to push.
Exactly.
We're all lost boys, aren't we? Yes, we are.
Now we are. So is the audience.
That's a great movie.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Not the one you watched. College Football Week 8 Roundtable. Next.
That's different.
TMA's Martin Kilcoyne is headed to Scotland in June, and you can join him for the trip of a lifetime. Discover spectacular Scotland with Colette and visit the historic capital of Edinburgh, Glasgow, the legendary Isle of Skye, cruise on the lovely Loch Ness, and so much more on an amazing 10-day tour. Colette handles all the details, flights, meals, hotels, and local experiences. Don't miss out. Get all the details on how you can discover spectacular Scotland with Colette and TMA's Martin Kilcoyne now at 101ESPN.com. This is the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
The 3-year time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Time for our college football week 8. Man, week 8. I hate that.
Why do you hate that? Because it's almost over?
Well, ish.
Halfway home, more so.
We are halfway home, yeah. Yep. I just love college football. It's going to be fascinating, though, to watch what happens over the course of the next 2 weeks and then into November. Mizzou and Auburn. If you missed their takes earlier, for me, this is a perfect matchup for Mizzou coming off the loss against Alabama and having to go on the road to play your first road game, period. Nonetheless, your first road game against a conference foe. Auburn has struggled offensively throughout the year, especially the last 3 weeks. And I think there's a nice bounce back spot for Mizzou, because I think eventually that the Auburn defense will get tired out, just like they did in the second half of last week against Georgia, who does not have the pass rush that you do. The secondary is much better, but the pass rush for Mizzou is significantly better than the pass rush for Georgia. And I think that as long as Bo Perbula and Ahmad Hardy protect the football, run the football effectively, and play good defense, this is going to be a win. I think Mizzou pulls away in the second half after the game is close in the first.
Just to clarify one thing, it's not their first road game. They bust to Lindenwood to play Lindenwood.
That was a game, I guess, not just a scrimmage.
Eli Drinkwitz made a point of saying that at his press conference, his opening thing, when he was asked about his first road. He says, not our first road game.
Here we go again.
Well, I'm just
maybe.
I'm stating the facts. Am I misrepresenting the story, Bradford?
Goodness, Jamie.
Am I?
Goodness.
Are you coming at me all angles? What the hell's your problem today?
My goodness.
This guy.
He's very sensitive.
Who, at Bradford?
Oh, yeah, he's very sensitive. Yeah. Jamie.
I got Mizzou in this game, too.
Bradford.
Mizzou only favored right now by 1.5. But, guys, the recipe here, the blueprint, it's pretty simple, quite frankly. I trust Jackson Arnold to really not do very much whatsoever in the passing game. And for that matter, I actually trust the Mizzou defensive line, the second level there for Josiah Trotter, too, to not allow Arnold to break contain. These guys are very disciplined when it comes to the gap integrity, the running lanes. And when you get somebody like Trotter with the sole task of basically running downhill, that's when somebody like that absolutely thrives. And also, I want to see you do have a couple of good threats for this Auburn team. I'm not saying they'll get the ball with a lot of regularity, but does your secondary acquit itself well for the second consecutive week? And do you stay on schedule on offense? Clean some things up, remove some of the undisciplined nonsense, and get yourselves in a good position leading into Vandy.
All right, speaking of Vandy will host LSU coming off a bye. LSU, as Bradford noted, could be down one of its top defenders. But here's the thing. Has LSU ever been an underdog against Vanderbilt? Ever?
Can't recall.
I mean, I can't imagine they have been. I think that Vanderbilt winds up losing its second game of the year. And I think if you're a Mizzou fan, you're kind of rooting for it. Even though Diego Pavia, you don't want to face him with like kind of the nothing to lose swagger to him. I still think facing a two-loss Vanderbilt, a wounded Vanderbilt team, would be better for Mizzou. And I do think that LSU defensively winds up making this a rock fight, and LSU wins the game.
Yeah.
That's very tight.
It's kind of how LSU has played this season, really. Mm-hmm. They've had a couple of moments, but they haven't had the splash of big numbers like everybody thought. And,
right.
And the coach got all sideways there at one point when he said, we won the game. Won the game.
Yeah.
When doesn't he get sideways? Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
Vandy's favored by 2.5 in this one, which makes me scratch my head because I feel like LSU's got this one locked up, but maybe it is.
They're a short dog.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I think LSU's too good, but who knows? Diego Pavia's he's a pretty good player, and he's managed to put his money where his mouth is for the most part.
I firmly believe that even without Weeks in this setting, the LSU defense is such that it's going to be able to contain Pavia to a degree, and that's the thing you have to watch out for when it comes to Diego. He had a phenomenal start to the season. I would contend through the first 5-ish weeks, probably no one else deserved the Heisman at that point more than he did, but he also runs into these stretches, okay, having to play out of necessity with that hero ball. And where is the rushing threat in a game like this from Vanderbilt? If you don't commit to the run, frankly, and you are not able to sustain those long drives, you're not going to be able to get off of the field against this LSU defense, okay? So I think a lot of people last year, it was very in vogue to kind of criticize the former MU defensive coordinator, okay, Blake Baker, because it was a rough adjustment to that program. But now being able to actually put his imprint on that side of the football, on that program, he's aggressive, it's paying off, and it's had to because we don't know the degree degree, guys, to which Garrett Nussmeier has really been compromised, it would seem, by the injuries this season. That, more than anything else, is why you see such a disjointed LSU offense, in my opinion.
All right, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is headed to Georgia. They're heading to Athens. They'll take on a Georgia team that, it's interesting. This line is 7, which feels
I've got 7.5 on this one,
which feels very high. However, Ole Miss nearly suffered one of the biggest upsets in recent memory last week against a bad Washington State team. They're a 33-point favorite, and the Cougars had no business being in the game. They nearly won the damn thing. I think that this is an interesting contrast of styles. Georgia wants to force you to have these long, sustained drives. They play well on third down. They of course, offensively want to keep possession, keep you on the sidelines. Ole Miss wants big plays, chunk plays, quick fire. If Ole Miss gets out to a lead, I still think Georgia can come back. If Georgia is the one that gets out to the lead, I think Ole Miss becomes frustrated. They want the ball back. They can't get it back. I could see a couple of 3-and-outs being detrimental to Ole Miss. I got Georgia in this one, and I got Georgia winning by 10.
Whoa. Wow.
In a surprise.
I'll take that action.
Okay.
I do have Georgia winning this, too. Not by 10. I don't even think they cover. At the 7.5 that I'm looking at here on ESPN, whether it's 7 or 7.5, I think it's less than that. I think it's a 3-point, maybe 6-point game max, but I do have Georgia winning this one.
Ole Miss has been, as a program, kind of living on the edge over the course of the last couple of games, but Trinidad Chambliss, that's right. Trinidad Chambliss, the D2 standout, the guy who wasn't really even supposed to make an impact on the school this year, forced into action. He's been an absolute sensation. But at some point, you do wonder, is the other shoe going to drop? Because I trust the Georgia defense, maybe implicitly, maybe misguided a little bit, but the environment there at Athens, it means everything in this setting. And by the same token, I think this is going to be a much lower scoring game, honestly, Anthony, than a lot of people think, because Gunnar Stockton, frankly, hasn't impressed me one iota. Outside of, yes, the one critical game that Georgia had to have, you have had issues as far as consistently pushing the ball down the field. Is Ole Miss able to do enough to generate a rush here? And can you get plays from somebody other than Lacey, the ex-Mizzou tailback, too, to be able to prevail on the road? I don't think Ole Miss stays undefeated, but Georgia may not get to that 7.5.
Yeah, I could see Ole Miss. Ole Miss hasn't really been tested either. Their biggest win is against LSU. Everything else has just been either non-conference or conference games that have not been good matchups. There is something to Georgia having already played Alabama. Yes, they lost. Tennessee, yes, they should have lost. And Auburn on the road. They're battle-tested in this one. And again, I think the contrast of style will flip to Georgia's favor. Alabama and Tennessee. Speaking of battle-tested, I mean, every week Alabama is playing somebody significant, and every week I feel like they get better. I think that Bama wins this one. Tennessee's defense is not impressive. Yes, they can score at will, but what Arkansas was able to do last week in the fourth quarter specifically, but the second half overall against Tennessee, I was shocked. I mean, this Arkansas team is brutal. It's why Sam Pittman was fired. And Arkansas was able to move up the field easily in the second half against Tennessee. You won't be able to do that against Alabama. I got Alabama by 10.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Or 2 touchdowns.
I'm right there with you. For me, my smoke and mirrors team is Tennessee this year. You look at their schedule and, who have they played? They played one real solid team, and they got beat 44-41. They are giving up a lot of points weekly to teams that are lesser than, and they just haven't played anybody. Bama, to your point, they've been in street fights this entire season so far. And this is just another one where Bama's going to be, that team is going to be battle-tested and ready for a street fight, where Tennessee, unless you count the Georgia game, that's it.
Yeah.
So I think they're smoke and mirrors.
5-game winning streak for the Crimson Tide, steadily progressing in basically all 3 phases. And I don't know if I would trust another quarterback in a clutch situation, guys, more so than Ty Simpson right now. Now, last weekend, were the statistics otherworldly? No, but he made all of the requisite throws. He's able to extend drives, make and convert on those big-time 3rd and 4th down conversions. And it does mean something when you're also assured of getting jam Cam Miller back in the lineup. That was a brutal concussion he suffered in the fourth quarter versus Catalan last weekend in Como. Steadily, you'll see improvement there, too, because he's only played 3 games so far this season. I like that defense. I like the defense's ability to be able to hold down Joey Aguilar to a degree. He's been great. Okay, Tennessee clearly won the quarterback swap for as much as we wanted to talk about it. Nico versus Aguilar. The offense hasn't been the issue. Your defense has completely bottomed out. Last year, here's a stat for you. 16 points per game yielded en route to that CFP berth. This year, you're giving up 29. And to wit, in the last 2 games, you've played in back-to-back track meets versus ho-hum Mississippi State and the Fighting Bobby Petrinos. It doesn't bode well for tomorrow.
No, it certainly does not. A couple of other interesting matchups. You got Utah and BYU. You've got Texas Tech, your team, Jamie, your sleeper team.
Yeah, I like them.
Texas Tech versus Arizona State, and then Notre Dame versus USC. I do not see Notre Dame being on upset alert. Lane Kiffin not playing in the state of California has been brutal. I mean, he really has. Coming out of the California, he hasn't fared well at all. In fact, I don't think he's covered a single spread out of the state of California.
Is that number too high for you, though? Notre Dame by 9.5?
It feels like the Georgia game.
It's tricky.
So I'll be on theme here, and I'll take Notre Dame, and I think they cover. Notre Dame defensively was terrible the first 2 weeks, especially against Texas A&M. They have played lesser opponents since. Still, that defense has allowed 0 points in the second half of their last 3 games. So Notre Dame defensively is buttoned up. This will be a much stiffer test against the USC offense. It ranks number 1 in yards per play. But USC's got some cluster injuries at running back. I think this could be an issue for them. In a high-scoring game, I got Notre Dame pulling away and covering the 9.5.
Big cover, but I got them winning.
All right.
Pretty brutal stretch. Down the stretch, for that matter, for USC, too. When you're thinking about, okay, you've got Notre Dame, you're kicking yourselves right now about that Illinois verdict because you had it right there in the fourth quarter. If you could have prevailed in Champaign, you still have to travel to Lincoln, Nebraska. Then you have Iowa as well as Oregon on the docket. This feels like, well, it is a must-win.
All right, we have, if you want it, text in. Fantasy football starter sit questions. If you want to start sending those in, you can. Air Comfort Service text line is 314-399-9646. You get any fantasy football starter sit questions, start throwing them in there, and we'll get through as many as we can. Can you read it?
Yeah, from Big Steve. Hey, guys, someone check to make sure Anthony is confident in Georgia. I really can't tell.
Oh, I'm sorry for stating my opinion.
Oh, don't be offended. It was a funny. It's Friday funnies. Come on, man. Lighten up.
Did I tell you that I like Georgia to cover against Ole Miss?
Do you?
I just think that...
Write that down, Bradford.
You love those dogs. You love them.
Fantasy football starter sit next on 101 ESPN.
Miss the Blues game? Want to hear the highlights? Need player reaction? Want more analysis and opinion? It's all here on Curbside, your next day post-game podcast with a voice of the St. Louis Blues, Chris Kerber. Catch new episodes of Curbside every morning after every Blues game on 101ESPN.com or on the 101 mobile app. Curbside is presented by Blue Note Roofing, roofing, siding, and gutters, your St. Louis roofing experts. Visit BlueNoteRoofing.com for a free inspection.
If you are looking for a smart, stable investment, take it from the experts. Not me, the experts. People like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and Shad Khan. They all see the value in buying and investing into U.S. farmland. But you don't need to be a billionaire to get in on this either. It does not take millions and millions of dollars to get involved. No, AgVest Advisors, they have managed over $900 million in farmland deals across 10 states. They offer full-service support to families and investors just like you. And if you own farmland, AgVest can help you as well. They're going to maximize the value of your farmland with full-service management for you, whether it's sourcing, whether it's diligence to rent, or just tenant selection overall. They've got you covered. All you got to do for all this exciting stuff is call the founder over at AgVest. His name is Chris Bronner. That number, 618-520-7022. Again, that's 618-520-7022. Tell Chris that Jamie Rivers sent you in. He loves hearing that. You can also visit agvestadvisors.com. That's agvestadvisors.com. Buy land. They are not making it anymore.
ESPN is your home for Blues hockey. And right now, we have your shot to score a signed Pavel Buchnevich puck.
Shoots! Score! Pavel Buchnevich!
Register to win now at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app.
Powered by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers.
You're in the fast lane on 101 ESPN.
If you have any starter sit advice questions that you want to send in to the Air Comfort Service text line, you can do so at 314-399-9646. Again, we're doing some fantasy football start or sit for week 7 in the NFL. Bradford, fire away.
Let's get it going, guys, from the 314. I have both of these individuals for a flex spot. I need to know, standard league, is it Hubbard or is it Dowdle this weekend in Carolina?
As far as the injury situation here,
who is this individual going to plug in? With whom do you feel safer? Because Hubbard had been receiving some work in the last few days.
Oh, yeah.
Dowdle with the mammoth games, though.
Okay, I just want to check out.
Running back controversy.
I just wanted to check the latest here from today. So Dave Canales said that Chuba Hubbard, calf, will play in week 7 against the Jets. I think you got to roll with Dowdle, though. I mean, he's total 473 yards from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns in his 2 games. Hubbard missed a bunch of time. I think why would you go back to Hubbard? I mean, at worst, it's going to be a committee situation, right? But I'd rather have the guy that has been destroying teams of late. So give me Give me Hubbard.
And
give me Dowdle.
You're not going to lean on him as heavily. No,
Right.
Dowdle has changed the calculus in that area.
Yes.
All right, next up, Cortland Sutton or Deebo Samuel? Standard League, who are you going with here?
Cortland Sutton or who?
Deebo Samuel.
I got to go with Cortland Sutton on that one. I mean, Deebo Samuel, has looked slow of late. I realize that Terry McLaurin being out gives Deebo Samuel an opportunity to catch a bunch of passes, but Cortland Sutton has been Bo Nix's guy. He'll spread it around a little bit, sure, but given the matchup, Denver, I mean, the pass rush is good for the Giants, but secondary-wise, I still think they can be had. Plus, it's at home. Give me Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, Sutton is the undisputed number one, no doubt, in the Mile High City. He is the guy for Bo Nix, and he's really boom or bust by the same token. You think about 2 complete duds, but otherwise, he's been very sound this year. Very, very sound. All right, from the 636, Justin Fields versus Carolina or Sam Darnold against the Texans.
You're not going to like this, but I'm going to say Justin Fields. Justin Fields had a horrible game last week. That was the outlier, though. Justin Fields has been pretty good for the Jets from a fantasy standpoint. I think Justin Fields gets back on track. Carolina, their run defense is very good, so I could see them actually bottling up Breece Hall and forcing Justin Fields to have to put the ball in the air a little bit more, and he's a run threat as well. Sam Darnold's been great. Houston defensively, I know that the Texans have had their issues, and it's the reason why they're 2-3. It had them in the defense though. Defense shut out Baltimore. I'm sorry, they shut out Tennessee. They held Baltimore to 10. They held Jacksonville to 17. They held Tampa and Baker Mayfield to 20. And Baker Mayfield, of course, and the Bucs scored late in that game to even get to the 20. And they held Matthew Stafford and the Rams on the road to only 14. So, as well as Sam Darnold has played, I'd like the matchup better for Justin Fields.
Yeah, Sam Darnold definitely more of a sure thing through the air. 650 yards combined, 6 TDs over the course of the past 2 games. But you have to think there's a bit of a course correction in store passing-wise to some extent.
Absolutely.
For Justin Fields there. PPR League from the 618. Which running back should I choose in this setting? AK down in NOLA or DeAndre Swift of the Bears?
You got to go with DeAndre Swift. The way that he was running the ball, that offensive line is the offensive line that they completely remade in the offseason certainly looked great against Washington. New Orleans defensively hasn't been the dumpster fire that I thought it was going to be. A lot of that is due to Demario Davis having he is outstanding for the Saints. But I got to go with DeAndre Swift and Kamara. I feel like they've been trying to phase him out for a couple of years now. It's weird.
Somewhat, yeah. Yeah.
So I think the bigger game potential is with DeAndre Swift.
Miller is even stealing more carries
Yes.
from week to week. It has been weird to see that transition, and yet, as of a couple of days ago, still preferred to go nowhere else. Wants to remain in New Orleans. We shall see. We'll see about this one.
They're like trying to usher him out. Like, hey, golden opportunity to get out of New Orleans here, huh? Alvin Kamara, what do you think? No, I'm good. Damn it.
No, I'm good.
Here's an interesting one from Big Steve. Luther Burden III, or, boy, who would have thought we'd have said this a year ago? Marvin Harrison Jr. dealing with injuries. Yes, hey, if DJ Moore is not in play for Chicago this weekend, talk about a boom or bust option. LB3?
Wow. I do think that Luther Burden is ready to explode in that offense. Rome Odunze is still the number one target. Of course, you got to deal with DJ Moore, and I just said that DeAndre Swift would be the better play. Oh, man. What's the latest on Harrison from today? Let's see here real quickly. So he cleared concussion protocol, and he's going to be active on Sunday. And Arizona plays Green Bay. I got to go with Marvin Harrison. Just from an opportunity standpoint, it's Trey McBride, then Marvin Harrison. I got to go with the fact that he's going to see more targets. It's a game script situation, too. I expect Chicago to be up. So it's going to limit Luther Burden III's opportunities, whereas Arizona, I expect them to be down and still throwing against Green Bay. I got to go with Marvin Harrison now that he's cleared.
And technically, for some reason, LB3 still listed as number 4 on the depth chart for Chicago. Shouldn't take that much longer to remedy that, but that's what you have at the moment. 307 weighing in, Standard League running back. Haskins or Chubb? Ooh, thin options there. Sorry, buddy.
Man. Yeah, I don't like either.
Haskins didn't even get that much run last week.
No, he didn't. I think you got to go with Nick Chubb against Seattle. I think I'm for it. Yeah, I think you got to do it. That's a time. I mean, you already know. You're asking the question. You already know. You've got issues there. But yeah, I would say Nick Chubb. He's touchdown dependent, but maybe they give him the ball inside the 5, and he winds up, getting 6 for you quickly.
For volume, if for no other reason, right?
Right, exactly.
All right, 314 for a half-point PPR flex option. Do I start Cam Scatterbo or Krosky Merritt?
Cam Scatterbo's going to get opportunities, so I think you got to go with Cam Scatterbo. Plus, how else the Giants going to win any game?
I was just thinking.
It's exactly the formula every week. Jackson Dart running around.
Yep. Brian Dable is like, those two kids. Let's just use them any capacity we can.
Yep. Jackson Dart runs around, and Cam Scatterbo runs into everybody.
Yes.
And he's going to get every goal line opportunity. So as soon as they get inside the red zone, he's going to have a scoring opportunity. So I got to go with Cam Scatterbo.
Get ready for the jersey to be doffed yet again from the 618 Standard League here. I need a QB badly. Caleb Williams or CJ Stroud?
You got to go Caleb Williams based on the matchup. The game script concerns me a little bit. I had mentioned this before. I don't expect the Bears to be trailing much. But even if they have a big first half, hopefully that carries you. CJ Stroud beat up on Baltimore, beat up on Tennessee. Seattle gives up a lot of yards, but not a lot of touchdowns. Like they play back. They play everybody back. It's a lot of underneath stuff, and they come up and tackle. So I think CJ Stroud winds up getting decent yardage. I don't know if he has the ability to have a multiple touchdown game like Caleb Williams has. So I'd go Caleb Williams.
Embarrassment of riches here. Hurts or Prescott? Straight up.
I'd go Prescott.
Yeah, his numbers have been fantastic.
I mean, that is going to be a shootout between Washington and Dallas. That's going to be defense optional. Dak plays very well at home, puts up big numbers at home. CeeDee Lamb is expected to be back. I know that Jalen Hurts gives you an opportunity for rushing touchdowns, but he's got the worst matchup with Minnesota. So I would go Dak Prescott.
The 573 says Kittle or Otten at tight end. P.S. My quarterback is Baker Mayfield.
Cade Otton's gotten some run with Mike Evans out, and now Igbuka is a little dinged up.
Godwin's down
as well.
Tez Johnson has to take on a bigger role.
And Sterling Shepard continues to find the end zone. That Oklahoma relationship continues to be there for Baker Mayfield and Sterling Shepard.
He's just solid.
But I think you got to go with George Kittle. The options are Kendrick Bourne, who I know had a decent game against Tampa. But it's Kendrick Bourne, who's going to probably get flanked by A.J. Terrell, the Falcons' best corner. And then you've got Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who catches 1 out of every 5 passes. It's George Kittle. George Kittle's going to have to be the dude. I know he's just coming back, and it was a pretty nasty injury, but he's been out since week 1, so I'd roll with the better player.
The 314 tells us I have to sit one, guys. Is it going to be Addison, Pittman Jr., or Bourne?
Addison, Pittman Jr., or Bourne. So you're only sitting one?
That's right.
I'd sit Bourne.
Me too.
Atlanta's got the best pass, like I just said. Atlanta's got the best pass defense in the league right now, statistically, and he's probably going to be covered by A.J. Terrell, like I just mentioned.
One more from the 636 once more. How about Quentin Johnson or Brian Thomas Jr. to start this weekend?
Brian Thomas
last
Jr.
year, I never thought that would even be a question.
No, it's got to be Brian Thomas Jr. You saw in that Kansas City game that Trevor Lawrence still looked for Brian Thomas when the game was on the line. And last week, again, I thought it was a rough game, not for Trevor Lawrence necessarily, but a rough game for the O-line for Jacksonville, and a rough game for a lot of the receivers that are dropping passes. But I think Brian Thomas Jr. is the safer play.
Bonus question for you. Between the Rams and the Jaguars this weekend, it is the early game in London. Now that we know Puka is down, Devontae, obviously, on the outside, he becomes your preeminent threat for Stafford. Mm-hmm. Any other Rams you would consider suiting up in the passing game? Atwell should be back.
Probably Tutu Atwell, because he's like Shaheed in New Orleans.
I like that comp.
You have an opportunity at any point for him to catch a 75-yard touchdown pass and give you immediate 10 points. So I'd go with Tutu Atwell. Other than that, I think Devontae Adams gets absolutely peppered, like Jamar Chase on a Thursday night by Joe Flacco. Comes full circle, Jamie. You see that? It comes full circle.
Yeah. Joe Flacco.
Yeah. Super Bowl champ.
Yeah. Hall of Famer.
Borderline Hall of Famer. Bet the Board is next on 101 ESPN.
ESPN's Blues Fan of the Week.
Congratulations to Derek Tepovich of Freeburg, Illinois. He was named our newest 101 ESPN Blues Fan of the Week.
Submit your pick now to be the next 101 ESPN Blues Fan of the Week and take home a pair of tickets to an upcoming Blues game. Learn more at 101ESPN.com.
Cheap, fun.
It's Friday. Let's get dirty with my friends over at Dirt Cheap. If you're on your way home right now, stop in, check out some of the deals that they've got. Maybe you're stocking up for the Mizzou game tomorrow, or maybe the Blues game, or just anything in general, birthday party, get together. Dirt Cheap has got you covered. Another way to get in touch with Dirt Cheap or get all the best deals possible, download the Dirt Cheap Rewards app and start saving immediately. You can place a pickup or a delivery order, which helps for time and things like that. They've also got special deals that come across the app. They've got the exclusive Bourbon Club, for that matter. I'm a member of that, and all that is, it gives you, an idea when they might have raffles for allocated bourbons or other specials that are coming to certain locations. It really is awesome to use. So whatever you're up to this weekend, please head into Dirt Cheap. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. They absolutely love hearing that, and they're going to take great care of you. So please visit them or check them out online at cheapcheapfunfun.com. Again, that's cheapcheapfunfun.com. Please have fun, but remember to be careful out there.
TMA's Martin Kilcoyne is headed to Scotland in June, and you can join him for the trip of a lifetime. Discover spectacular Scotland with Colette and visit the historic capital of Edinburgh, Glasgow, the legendary Isle of Skye, cruise on the lovely Loch Ness, and so much more on an amazing 10-day tour. Colette handles all the details, flights, meals, hotels, and local experiences. Don't miss out. Get all the details on how you can discover spectacular Scotland with Colette and TMA's Martin Kilcoyne now at 101ESPN.com. 101 ESPN Sports Center.
Game 5 underway in the Pacific Northwest. Good afternoon. It's Bradford Bruns, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. In the middle of the second, they are scoreless between Seattle and Toronto. Game number 5 of the American League Championship Series is underway. The series currently knotted at 2 games apiece, thanks to Toronto taking back-to-back affairs. Meanwhile, on the National League side, in the 7 o'clock hour, it is going to be the Dodgers trying to complete that sweep of 4 games over the Brewers, and you can hear that game right here on 101 ESPN. Tomorrow night on 101 ESPN, it's a 6 p.m. puck drop for Blues as well as Stars. St. Louis, of course, 2-2 on the young season, having won a pair of games away from Enterprise Center. Back at home, though, tomorrow, trying to shake off that loss earlier in the week against Chicago. This Sports Center update has been brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
2 former pros and 1 average Joe. You're listening to The Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
All right, time to play Bet the Board here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Bradford Bruns in for Andrew Marsh. Jamie Rivers here, Anthony Stalter here, and Carey will be back with us on Monday. Bradford, do you have the latest standings?
Looking at them right now, guys, you know it wasn't the best overall performance last night. Stoltz, you did come through, right? As did Marshy, Jamie, and Carey taking a pair of L's. So now, Anthony, on this particular occasion for the month of October, you are up to a total of 6 correct picks. But Jamie, actually, my goodness, you've still got 8 in the can. You've got 8, and Carey, I'm looking at a ton of green on my screen here. Carey is at 8 or 9 for that matter, and Marshy pushes his total to 7. So we've got a bit of a race here in October.
All right, so Carey 9, Jamie 8, yep. Marsh 7, me 6. Carey did send in his pick earlier today. It was for the game that is going on right now. And
he sent it in before the game started, though.
Yeah, he did.
So,
yeah,
give him that.
Vlad Jr., 1.5 hits, runs, RBI. And I believe he's got a double.
He got a double.
So he's already at 1, so he just needs one more thing there.
Can't stop him.
No. All right, so Jamie, you're up.
I'm going tomorrow night. Stars visiting your St. Louis Blues. First period action. 1.5 goals is the total. I'm going over.
What?
Minus 120. Blues shuffled the deck, put the lines in the blender, like Monty said. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to get a little offensive output. I see Carey, Holloway, those guys jumping off the board. See a lot of goals.
There you go. By the way, Eugenio Suarez just hit a solo shot. Mariners now up 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Kevin Gausman leaving one. Rooster mid.
Not great.
Belt
Watch
high.
That pitch count.
Yeah, belt high. Rooster high. All right. Marsh is up, and he sent in Carson Wentz over 9.5 rushing yards. So that's the game he'll be at. He has Carson Wentz over 9.5 rushing yards.
He gets free.
I have stated that Mizzou is in a nice bounce back spot. I watched Auburn last week. Auburn struggles offensively, and I think they're ready to be ready to be put out to pasture.
Oh boy!
Give me Mizzou minus 1.5. Actually, screw that. Give me Mizzou minus 122 on the money line. All I have to do is win the game. Mizzou minus 122 at Auburn.
Straight up?
Straight up. I did this last week where I laid like 1.5 or something like that when I could have had the money line.
Yeah,
Fool.
I don't know why you did that.
It didn't. Didn't wind up mattering, but yeah, I'm not going to mess around. Mizzou straight up tomorrow night. Bradford, you got a pick for us?
I do, actually. So, yeah, one of the few high-profile matchups, top 25 style, we didn't get to chronicle earlier in the program. I'm heading out, actually, to the old Southwest, guys. I'm going to Tempe, where Arizona State, regarded as, yes, indeed, the Sun Devils, one of the favorites preseason in the Big 12. However, already 2 losses, 2-1 in the Big 12, hosting the behemoth that locomotive known as Texas Tech, all the way up to number 7, undefeated. Look, guys, the fact right now that Texas Tech is listed on the road, I get it, as just a favorite of 6.5 points. This squad is in the top 5 nationally when it comes to offensive and defensive efficiency. It has 127 quarterback pressures this season. It has the best run defense in the entire land, ahead of only Mizzou. And you're telling me this team can't win by a tutty? Heck, even if Baron Morton isn't out there for all 4 quarters, and he has missed parts of 3 games already this season, give me the Red Raiders in a runaway 10 points plus. Saw that figure at minus 115, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice. All right, there you go. Hey, you're ready to hit the fairway with the crew from the morning after. You can do so. 101 ESPN, hey, that's us, and Michelob Ultra present the Tee It Up with TMA giveaway. One lucky winner and the guest will score a free round of golf with Tim and Jackson of the morning after at Fox Run Golf Club. It's your chance to hang out and enjoy a laid-back round with Tim and Jackson. Use the code SWING to get entered to win now, either at 101ESPN.com or on the 101 ESPN mobile app. You must be 21. The Tee It Up with, or older, 21 or older. The Tee It Up with TMA giveaway is courtesy of Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. When we come back, we will have what we learned, maybe some criticisms and some compliments, and also Bradford hands out his 3 stars. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Ready to hit the fairway with a crew from the morning after? 101 ESPN and Michelob Ultra present the Tee It Up with TMA giveaway. One lucky winner and a guest will score a free round of golf with Tim and Jackson of the morning after at Fox Run Golf Club. The guys will bring the banter, the birdies, and of course the Ultra. And you just need to bring your swing. It's your chance to hang out and enjoy a laid-back round with Tim and Jackson. Use the code SWING to get entered to win now. Either at 101ESPN.com or the 101 mobile app. Must be 21. The Tee It Up with TMA giveaway is courtesy of Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer.
Do you have a vision for a kitchen or bathroom upgrade, but maybe you don't know who to turn to? Please give my friends over at E&B Granite a call for a no-obligation consultation. My friends over at E&B, they have proudly provided the St. Louis area with exceptional, and I mean exceptional, customer service and products for over 20 years now. And they want our listeners to experience their fast turnaround time with 100% customer satisfaction guaranteed. Just head down to 6135 Manchester Avenue. Please let them know that I sent you. And talk to the in-house design staff about what you're looking to accomplish. Again, it's that kitchen, that bathroom, or that outdoor living space. And they're going to do a great job of showing you what they have as far as inventory when it comes to countertops, very affordable cabinets, and they've got flooring that caters to pretty much any taste out there at all. But you do have to get in there. You do have to talk to them. So please schedule an appointment. Give them a call at 314-645-9300. That's 314-645-9300. Or you can always visit them at enbgranite.com.
This is the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or via the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. All the podcasts, of course, brought to you by Shaver Door Company. Time to find out what everybody learned today, starting off with Jamie Rivers.
Yeah, I learned that Anthony Stalter figures out songs the same way I do. And what I mean by that, if you missed it, is you think of a song and you like teleport mentally back to where you were when you heard that song and when it was popular. So today, Anthony got an answer on the Gauntlet. I won't give up too much of the information in case you haven't heard it yet.
Yeah.
But got to the correct answer by teleporting mentally back to a time and place where he heard this song. I have used the same method. I told Anthony in the break, I said, I always put the song with where I was playing, because when you play for a team, you got the locker room stereo going all the time. Right?
Sure.
So whatever's popular at that moment, you know, okay, boom, we're hearing this song over and over again. Okay, yeah. That was, oh, by the way, that was 1997. I was with the St. Louis Blues and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So I learned that Anthony and I, although we do have a lot of things in common, we do share that in common.
I like it.
Yeah.
I do that too with other things. I'm sure you do as well, like movies, you know, and like draft picks. Like, oh, that was the year I was the freshman year at Central Michigan.
Yeah.
And,
We're probably not alike on that one.
Yeah, just saying, it's the same thought process.
Yeah.
Placing yourself
of operation.
Placing yourself at that certain spot.
Now, maybe this is Carey's story to share, but what is his technique for putting himself in those moments?
He has none. No. At all. He just goes rogue and guesses and hopes for the best.
I'm not trying to call him out. I'm genuinely curious.
No, it's not calling him out. We are going to have a game show at some point.
Maybe on Fridays, moving forward.
That could be funny, yeah.
Although I don't know if we can use the songs.
We can't use that because we couldn't play it on YouTube.
Yeah.
We get all mad and shut us down again. Remember?
Darn
they shut us down the last time
they
you did that?
They did, yeah. Wait, what? Me?
Yeah, you did that thing on YouTube.
No.
When was the last time we had such a novel game? I would say it's been a while.
Oh, nice job.
Creed.
Well done. You really combined everything there with CD.
We try.
Speaking of Bradford.
It's probably digital.
Yeah, true. Speaking of Bradford, we did a great job filling in for Marsh today. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, sir.
What did you learn today?
Guys, I learned that the situation in Chapel Hill, as complicated as it may be, it's not actually getting worse. Instead, it's actually getting better for our consumption.
I would say so, yeah.
It's a train wreck, all right.
No kidding. Train well off the tracks on that. Yeah, the thing that I learned is that even if you say 5 times that you like Georgia to cover the spread against Ole Miss, you can still say it one more time. Guys, I think Georgia winds up covering against Ole Miss this weekend.
That's random.
Yeah. That's what I think. People are always listening and counting. All right, Bradford. What do you got for criticisms and compliments? Or if you want to jump right to the 3 stars, you can do that too.
We do have some compliments, so we want to honor those sentiments and those emotions from the crowd. So from the text line, we have John S. saying, Anthony, like Charlie Brown, you're a good man.
Oh, thank you very much.
Have a great weekend at that.
Was Charlie Brown a good man?
You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
You're a good man, Charlie Brown. So who said it?
I may have taken creative license with that part.
He was a child.
Yeah. Well, but, he acted mature.
Well, it was weird that he was a child, but he was balding. He just had like the couple little bacon strips on his head there.
He was a man boy.
He was.
Man boy.
Yeah.
Maybe he was
Benjamin Button.
Maybe he was just a little person.
Great documentary.
He had no friends, so he went and made friends with all the kids, which is really weird.
Well, those kids needed friends, though. I mean, the one kid was dirty all the time.
Pigpen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was filthy. Other kid had his blanket right there at his disposal every time.
It was kind of land of misfit toys, right? A little bit.
One kid with a genius on the piano, or is that the same kid with the blanket? Was that Linus?
No, it's not. That was Peter. He played the piano, and then Lucy had the little psychiatrist booth.
No, I think you just have a little too much Peter on the mind today. That was Linus, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Linus definitely had the blanket, but who was? I thought Linus.
Peter was the piano guy.
I don't think anyone was named Peter.
Peter, the piano prodigy.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think it was Linus. See, he had the blanket right next to him. He's jamming on the piano.
Jamie, if Peter on the brain, it was Linus.
Linus was the kid who was dirty. He didn't play the dance.
That was Pigpen. You just said that.
Wait, Linus had the blanket, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think he also played the piano.
I don't think so.
There was no Peter.
There was no Peter.
Well, someone... Never mind. I'm pulling it up right now here.
Peter, I hope you're not.
I'll tell you what. It was Schrader. Schrader, you
Wictolia and Walruskin just said Schrader.
It was Dennis Schrader.
It wasn't Peter.
And it wasn't freaking Linus.
Well, Linus had the blanket.
That's what I said. I go, it's not Linus. She goes, yeah, it's the blanket, and he played the piano. And I asked Peter, which was wrong. It was Schrader.
Schrader.
I knew you guys were wrong, though, too. I said, look, I'm ready to die on this hill.
Hey, are any of them named Peter?
I don't know.
They got Paul and Mary?
Right.
Maybe it's Pigpen. We don't know what his name is. We have Peppermint Patty. Remember her?
Yeah.
She was annoying.
Marcy.
Go ahead, Bradford. Take us home.
Lisa loved our NASCAR question. We appreciate it.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 Stars of the Day. Presented by Circus Sports Illinois. Sports betting the way it should be.
Totally knows all of it.
Let's reel this one in, rather. Anthony, you are the 3rd star today, my friend.
Why?
For the Gauntlet performance in random.
Thank you.
4 for 4.
Thank you.
I don't care if it wasn't technically a clean sweep. You know what? 4 for 4, that is ridiculous accuracy. That's the type of accuracy Mizzou needs tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
From Bo Prabula.
When they win outright.
Star number 2, speaking of which, we're just going to hand it ceremoniously to Eli Drinkwitz. We're just giving it to Eli Drinkwitz today.
Why not?
Yes.
Somehow he talked us into it.
Coach, there you go. You don't have to sell me on that one.
Go ahead.
And star number 1 on this vicious Friday, that would be none other than the real Peter Pan himself.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Oh, man.
Whisk us off to Neverland. Get us out of here.
Go home and drink.
All right, that'll do it for us. Don't forget, tomorrow, Blues Stars pre at 5, puck drop at 6. For Andrew Marsh, go Vikings. Good luck to you, buddy. For Carey Davis, who we'll see back here on Monday. For Bradford Bruns, pinch hitting for Andrew Marsh. And for my main man, Jamie Peter Barry Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Everybody have a great weekend. See you.